Welcome to the Fantasy Audiobook. Awakened SSSSS-Level Dual Talents, Enslave the Nine-Tailed God Ahri on the Spot. Chapter 81. Su Wu turned his head and looked at the other slaves in the hall. He said solemnly to the Fiery Fox, Iron Pig, Goblin Queen, Gobmai, Morgana, Tiger King, Bloodthirsty Scarab, and Ghoul, don't be afraid of death. Just kill. If you die, I will resurrect you in the slave space. Master, don't worry, we will definitely fulfill our mission. The slaves said solemnly. Su Wu turned and looked at the magic screen in the control hall. Attack. Clang. In the blink of an eye, Gobmai led the Goblin Queen Corps to use the multiplication skill on other slaves. Hal teleported the multiplied slaves to the ground for combat. After the multiplication was completed, Gobmai and the Goblin Queen formed a legion and came to various parts of the castle. They raised their staffs. Clang. On the other side, facing the behemoth that suddenly appeared on the battlefield, Molan and its pirates suddenly stopped. They couldn't help but look at each other. 1, 4, 7. For a moment, he dared not take a step. Even Count Ahri of the ugly country was so scared that his legs trembled. He recognized the Tiger King and the Blazing Fire Fox. This is the boss in the Blue Star Life and Death Trial space. He had the honor of seeing the two boss before, but he did not have the courage to fight. But the two boss at the moment give him a feeling of being even more invincible. Ahri shouted desperately, "Oh my God! Who will save me?" Boom! Suddenly, a thunder sounded. The next second, a rain of arrows covering the pirates and Count Ahri fell from the air. No, not one, but one after another. At this moment, the Tiger King tried his best and continuously released rain of arrows in the direction of the enemy. The Blazing Fire Fox and other slaves were preparing to meet the enemies rushing up. Su Wu looked ahead, and he was also unsure in his heart. The main reason was that the enemy's level was too high. He was a little scared. But, when the rain of arrows piled up one after another, he found that the pirates died one after another under the rain of arrows. Even the pirate leader, the dark blue werewolf, he also lost one self-defense item after another under the rain of arrows. In the end, I'm so blind, I died, it's so unfair. Ahri, you hurt me. Before Molan died, he let out a frustrated cry. Boom, as the sound fell, he was shot by the rain of arrows and turned into a meat paste. Count Ahri had already died under the second wave of arrows. At this moment, the slaves on Su Wu's side were all stunned. He was also stunned. A large area of experience prompts appeared in front of him. He ignored them. Congratulations on getting 600 experience points 10. Congratulations on getting 500 experience points 10. So easy. Su Wu muttered softly. At this time, Hal's voice sounded, Master. The strength of these guys is uneven. Only Molan Werewolf and Count Ahri are mythical professionals, and the others are legendary and epic professionals. Among these professionals, Molan and Ahri are the highest level, but their four-dimensional attributes, in my opinion, are not as many as yours. Their strengths lie in their skills and talents. But, the Tiger King's rainstorm arrows have a stacking feature. In the multiplied state, the damage of its first rain of arrows is as high as 6.6322 trillion points of damage. This is an unbearable burden for most pirates. Molan has the most treasures, and it seems that there is a glimmer of hope. In fact, the closer he gets to the end, the more desperate he will die. Because each time the Tiger King stacks the rainstorm arrows, the 6 trillion damage can be increased by an additional 26 times. The time is extended by 25 minutes. If this copy is not limited, he may escape by resurrection or invincibility. After my analysis, the reason why they lost so much is mainly because we are too strong. They underestimated you. If they controlled you in the first place, it is hard to say whether they can win this game. As Hal's voice sounded, Su Wu realized how strong the slaves under his command were. This made his eyes brighten up, and he couldn't help but exhale. If I had known this, I would have occupied the ink blue plane. Master, please don't get carried away. Have you forgotten why you were sent here? If the pirates have props that restrain you, you can't summon slaves and can't use your resurrection talent. You will only have one way to go. Hal reminded at this time. Su Wu couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat after hearing this, and nodded repeatedly, yes. I'm still too weak. At this time, He looked at his panel. After this battle, with the blessing of 10 times the experience in the fighting field, he gained a total of 14.42 million experience points. Among them, the 50-level pirates contributed 600,000 experience points, the 60-level pirates contributed 1.8 million experience points, and the 70-level pirates contributed 19.11 million experience points. The 80-level pirates only contributed 80,000 experience points. At present, his experience reserve reached 116.22 million. He immediately used all his experience on the second-level skill growth gain talent. This talent can maximize the benefits of upgrading his talents and skills. After upgrading, the second-level skill growth gain talent has been upgraded to level 1. Second-level skill growth gain, level 6, 0/20th million, SSSSS-Level. The data growth value of all talents and skills is 800 times the original basis. Note that this talent is not within the blessing range. Awesome. 100 times increase. Really good. Su Wu was overjoyed after seeing it. This talent increases the value by 100 times for every level, and the experience value is 2,000 square meters. Such an increase is really gratifying. He then took out the mutation core extracted from Gotada Takeshi and Fujikawa Shizu. One of them is to summon the heroic spirit, which comes from Fujikawa Shizu, and is the talent of the mythical profession Onmyoji. Yes, the Onmyoji's summoning comes from the talent, and the skill is to increase and assist the heroic spirit. The second talent is Gotada Takeshi's illusion immunity. This was not Gotada Takeshi's main talent, which made Su Wu quite regretful. He immediately used these two talents. Summoning heroic spirit. Alienated and unable to advance. 30% chance to summon a heroic spirit of the same race that resonates with your own blood and soul. Consume 10,000 spirit points, cooldown time 30 days. Illusion immunity. Alienated and unable to advance, 20% chance to be immune to all illusion skills. After he finished using the alien core, Morgana had already returned to the control hall with the slave army. They had just finished collecting the spoils. Master, this is the spoils of this time. She presented 3 rings to Su Wu. 2 of them were from Mo 0.4 Blue, and one was a soul storage ring, which had a space of 10 kilometers and planted some herbs worth about 1 billion. These herbs were mainly used to make instant recovery pills. One is a storage ring, which contains a large number of pirate weapons and some healing charms, as well as 10 trillion gold coins in cash. The third one comes from Count Axi. Count Axi's storage ring contains 100 trillion gold coins in cash and 100 purple crystal coins, plus a 100-meter-long magic warship. There is also a contract and some important documents. Su Wu's eyes moved after reading it. Count Axi actually stored the ugly country's plan for this area and related strategic steps. At this time, the reminder of the fighting field appeared. The winner has been decided. You will be teleported away in 5 minutes. The countdown begins. 4 minutes and 59 seconds. Buzz. Har Castle appeared out of thin air in the void of the second time and space. It was surrounded by various large and small land fragments floating around. Su Wu was standing in the control room, observing the surroundings. Buzz. A prompt suddenly jumped into his retina. The title of Destroyer is activated. The dark blue plane is completely destroyed. You get 500 million experience points. This reward seems too little. Su Wu couldn't help muttering. Buzz. Although the area of the dark blue plane is vast, it is not a complete world. There are no sound rules. No matter how large the Pure Land is destroyed, it will not get a high experience reward. 1. The prompt of the Destroyer title appeared. Su Wu's eyes flickered. He immediately added the experience points to the second-level skill growth gain talent again. Buzz. Soon, Su Wu consumed 80 million experience points. The second-level skill growth gain talent was promoted to the full level 10. The gain value of the talent was increased to 1200 times. Then, Su Wu added experience to the King of Servants. 30. After consuming 210 million, the King of Servants was promoted to level 10. Through the promotion of the King of Servants talent, Su Wu discovered the experience required for each promotion of the second turn talent is 2000. For each level of the second turn King of Servants, the dedication multiplier will increase by 5 times. With the blessing of the second turn skill growth gain talent, the King of Servants gains 1200 times the data for each level. In other words, the King of Servants can get 60,000 times the Super BT multiplier gain for each level. This is simply too terrifying. Su Wu looked at the King of Servants talent. Second turn King of Servants, level 10, full level SSSSS-Level, your enslavement skill success rate is 100% and the consumption is 0. Life conversion. The slaves who have been successfully enslaved by you will automatically be converted into life-type slaves. Dedication. The converted slave will dedicate 60,024 times of experience, 60,024 times of props or 60,024 times of materials to you. This is simply too scary. Slaves can get such multiples of experience. Su Wu can be promoted to a higher level almost effortlessly. Even get high experience that others can only get after working hard for a year or even 10 years. Awesome. He still has 210 million experience left. This is only enough for him to upgrade one talent to the maximum level. Immediately, he chose to improve the gain of the second turn slave. The gain of the second turn slave, level 10, full level SSSSS-Level. The life of your slave can be upgraded by devouring special materials, and get 60,024 times of attribute and skill gain. Life. Permanent slaves can reproduce in the slave space, and each new life in the space will increase 12,010 slave positions and 120,011 points of advancement value. Resurrection. Slaves who are permanently fixed in the slave space will have 12,018 opportunities to be resurrected in the slave space, and each resurrection consumes 100 spirit points. Note: slaves that are permanently solidified will never be freed. The new life that is reproduced will automatically become your slaves and occupy one slave position. Too crazy. Su Wu experienced the joy of hanging up. This simply made him crazy. Each level of slave gain can obtain 5 times the attribute and skill gain, increase one slave position, 1 point of advanced value, and obtain 1 resurrection. But under the 1200 times data increase of the second turn skill growth gain. Level 10 is 12,000 points of data. This is simply too crazy. He enslaved and upgraded the monster through the blood crystal. Level 1 will be comparable to level 100. Just ask who else in the world can do it. Su Wu couldn't help but feel a sense of pride that no one else could do it but me. Sure enough, upgrading the gain attributes first can definitely maximize the gains. Now the 500 million experience points have been used up. He upgraded the 3 second level talents to the maximum level. Now there are only 2 talents left, Resurrection and Frozen, that need experience upgrades. Other talents only need to use primary talent promotion scrolls. Now, Su Wu still has 30 primary talent promotion scrolls left. He decided to upgrade the Illusion Immunity, Control Immunity and Devouring Evolution talents. Buzz. The 3 talents were promoted to the maximum level of level 10. Each of their promotions also gained 1200 times the second level skill gain talent. Illusion Immunity, level 10, cannot be upgraded, alienated and cannot be advanced. 240,000% chance of immunity to all illusion skills. Control Immunity, level 10, cannot be upgraded, alienated and cannot be advanced. 240,000% chance of immunity to all control skills. Devouring Evolution, level 10, cannot be upgraded, alienated and cannot be upgraded, can increase growth values by devouring the flesh and blood of life. Current growth. Strength, 12,010, Agility, 12,010, Spirit, 12,010, Constitution, 12,050. Great. Su Wu smiled excitedly. What excited him most was Devouring Evolution. Every time this talent is upgraded by 1 level, it can provide 1 point of value increase for the basic growth value. With a 1200 times increase of the skill gain talent. Every time it is upgraded by 1 level, the 4-dimensional attributes are increased by 1200 points, and 10 levels is 12,000 points. In this way, combined with the professional characteristics of level 5, the experience points Su Wu gains every time he upgrades are even higher than the attribute points gained by the mythical professional at level 100. I should be considered a serious disciple of the Fengling Yueying sect now. Su Wu muttered excitedly. After completing the basic promotion, he transferred all the gains this time to the slave space. Then he sacrificed the 3 rings to the slave space respectively. Boom. The diameter of the slave space increased by 16 kilometers, becoming 2,618 kilometers. The herbs planted in the dark blue spiritual storage space were also successfully planted next to the sky blue wheat. When all this was completed, buzz, a message came from the Chenkin network. Su Wu entered and found that he had a transmission package. There was another prompt. Congratulations on completing the task of destroying the dark blue pirate plane. You get 100 times experience card, 10 billion contribution points, and the title of Baron. The contribution points have been transferred to the Chenkin network account. The title and experience card will be transmitted to your current location in the form of a package. Please receive the transmission package within 72 hours, otherwise the package will be automatically stranded at the headquarters of the Empire Special Talent Service Center. Su Wu was moved by this and quickly projected the transmission mark of the transmission package on the desktop. Buzz. A light flashed. 100 times experience card and a pure white crystal appeared in front of Su Wu. The moment he touched the crystal, a prompt appeared in his sight. Baron Title Crystal. Please drip blood to recognize the master. From now on, your blood will inherit the title and the privileges brought by the title after your death. This is a special rule prop that can only be issued by the Empire. Most empires on Blue Star have extremely strict control over titles. Only the real elite can obtain titles. When they obtain titles, they will also be granted fiefdoms, slaves, population, and certain financial powers. The Shengxia Empire is different from other empires. The title of the Shengxia Empire is just a title, without any real imperial privileges. It is a factor for professionals to gain powerful strength. It can also be called a title. But the rules brought by the title itself can indeed be obtained through inheritance. The higher the title among professionals, the greater the benefits obtained, and the stronger they are. In the Shengxia Empire, as long as you obtain certain military merits and complete specific title tasks, you can definitely obtain a title. Whether you are a wealthy official or an ordinary person, you can get one. Su Wu took the Baron title crystal in front of him and shed blood to acknowledge the master without hesitation. Buzz. Congratulations on becoming the 309,388,800th Baron of the Shengxia Empire. Your identity information has been updated in the Chenkin network and the Empire Professional Information Database. You have obtained the Baron privileges. 1. Inheritance. After your death, your designated heir or legal heir will inherit your title and inherit 1 to 3 talents from your talent list. 2. Increase 3 times. For copies with limited times, you will have an additional 3 strategy privileges. 3. Copy refresh. For copies with time interval restrictions, you have the privilege of refreshing the copy waiting time 3 times a month. 4. Experience. You have the privilege of 2x copy experience once a month. 5. Duel. You have 1, cannot be refused, duel per month. This duel is only for those with titles. Looking at the title information in front of him, Su Wu smiled. He was interested in the 3 benefits 2, 3, and 4. The rest is optional. Su Wu looked at the personal information in the Chenkin network again. Name. Su Wu, Lord, Baron, Identity, Deputy Commander of the Imperial Special Talent Service Center, part-time Deputy Captain of the Academy Team. Account. 9.543 billion gold coins, contribution points, 10.93099 billion. I am now considered rich among low-level professionals, but I am nothing among high-level professionals. Su Wu muttered softly. He did not return to Blue Star immediately. But from the control hall of Howl Castle, he entered the slave space. He went straight to the portal of the Styx dungeon of Anubis. The portal was still lit. Su Wu squeezed the 100x experience card in his hand and put it away immediately. He chose the Dungeon of Hell difficulty. Buzz. Do you want to enable the Baron privilege? This dungeon supports the cumulative stacking of experience multiples. No, Su Wu did not use the privilege. Buzz. The next second, he disappeared in the slave space. When the scene in front of Su Wu became clear, he came to a gray world. The sky of this world is gray. The earth is gray. The buildings are also gray. The surrounding trees and forests are also gray. There is a 6-pointed star array under his feet. Outside is a group of wandering ghosts in the wilderness. The Styx is blocked due to a major outbreak of the undead disaster. Please clear all monsters in the sticks and destroy Horus's clone. Looking at the prompt in front of him, Su Wu raised his hand and summoned the Tiger King and the fiery evil fox. At the same time, he summoned Ahri to accompany him. He then looked at the panel of wandering undead in front of him. Spirit of the wrongly dead, elite monster. Level 40. Strength 40,000. Agility 50,000. Spirit 100,000. Constitution 30,000. Skill Soul Roar. Weakness Light and Fire. A level 40 elite monster. Su Wu muttered softly. He raised his hand and pointed forward. The enslavement skill was performed. Buzz. Congratulations on successfully enslaving the spirit of the wrongly dead. You received the devotion of the spirit who wished to die, and gained experience plus 400 * 60,029. Obtained 1 soul crystal 60,024. Obtained 1 blood crystal 60,024. Obtained 1 magic item soul scepter 60,024. In a flash, Su Wu's experience value increased to 30,231,600 points. The experience multiplier is the sum of the enslavement experience multiplier brought by Su Wu's own seal of the King of Servants plus the 5x experience multiplier of the dungeon. This is just the contribution after enslaving a monster. Su Wu actually got 24,011,600 experience points. This is far more than the experience gained by Ahri's upgrade skills combined with Su Wu's enslavement and release skills, and continuously brushing the Thunder Valley dungeon once. This efficiency of brushing experience is simply invincible. And this change, it only took a month. In a month, Su Wu is already a different person from the past. He looked at the skills of the spirit of the dead. Soul Roar, emits a roar that stings the soul, interrupting all enemy skills. This skill is good, Su Wu muttered softly. He looked at the spoils of this time. Soul Crystal, one of the necessary materials for soul forging and alchemy. Soul Scepter. Blue, Spirit plus 5000, Enchantment, Soul Guardian. All attacks against the soul are invalid, and the shield value is plus 10,000 points. Note that this is a weapon exclusive to the second level Soul Mage Professional. Compared to weapons, Soul Crystal should be said to be a specialty resource of this copy. Su Wu muttered softly. He continued to use the enslavement skill on other unjustly dead spirits. In a short while, he had enslaved 200 unjustly dead spirits. Looking at the unjustly dead spirits gathered densely in front of him, Su Wu suddenly had an idea. What would happen if they were all synthesized? This idea made him unable to continue. At the moment, he used the synthesis skill on the 200 unjustly dead spirits. Buzz. Instantly, the unjustly dead spirits turned into gray breaths and condensed into Su Wu's skills. About 3 seconds later, a soul body that was as tall as a person and exuded a majestic black resentment appeared in front of Su Wu. He immediately looked at the panel of the synthesized unjustly dead spirit. The level of the unjustly dead spirit became level 0, but the 4-dimensional attribute values did not change. The weak points of light and fire became fatal weakness, light and fire. This is because the synthesis skill superimposed all its weaknesses and turned it into this kind of waste. Su Wu guessed the reason. After thinking about it, he decided to transform this unjustly dead spirit into life. He used the transformation skill on the unjustly dead spirit. Buzz. The body of the unjustly dead spirit began to tremble violently. Bones, veins, internal organs, brain and other organs grew on its soul body. Then muscles and membranes. In the blink of an eye, a humanoid life appeared in Su Wu's sight. This. Su Wu looked at the panel of this humanoid life. Nameless. Race. Human. Identity. Su Wu slave. Level. 0. Strength. 0. Agility. 0. Spirit. 100,000. Constitution. 1. This is too useless. Su Wu sighed after seeing this. This is not fun at all. He immediately used the release skill on this slave. Buzz. You successfully released Wombing. You get 1 drop of Wombing's thankful soul blood * 10. You get 10 blood crystals * 10. What is this? Su Wu muttered softly. He looked at the soul Nuo Wang Jiao blood. Soul blood. SSSSS-Level refining material, which can refine your own exclusive professional weapons into exclusive professional weapons suitable for you, and refresh attributes and increase growth value. 1 drop each time, success rate 10%. Tisk, 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 you can get such top-grade materials. Su Wu's eyes widened. He didn't know how much the 5S level refining materials were worth. But he knew that this kind of material was priceless. At least in the previous auctions organized by the Imperial Trading House in Qiantang Province. The highest grade materials were only SSS grade. Such materials worth 1 trillion contribution points and 6 exchange conditions. Hunyan. Su Wu glanced at his own experience bar. He had already gained 4.80232 billion experience points. Whether it was for upgrading or for upgrading talents, it was enough. Thinking of this, Su Wu let go. He then enslaved more than a dozen unjustly dead spirits. When he came to a low-lying spring, a 5-meter giant with an eagle head and a red body suddenly grew slowly in the spring. Su Wu immediately used the detection skill on the giant. Blind Horus, Elite Monster Boss. Level 40. Strength 50W. Agility 50W. Spirit 100W. Constitution 50W. Skills: Sun Fire, Moon Ice, Sword of Judgment. Talent: Falcon Form. At this time, Blind Horus looked at Su Wu. When he looked up, 2 beams of light burst out from his bloody eye holes. This attack was like a laser attack, but the energy was more dense than that of laser rays. Buzz. The fiery fox stepped forward and waved his sword to block Horus' skill, Sun Fire. Su Wu stepped forward and used the enslavement skill on the Blind Horus. At this time, a scepter appeared in Horus's hand. A silver light appeared on the scepter. This light shot towards Su Wu. It seemed to know who was the most dangerous one. Moon Ice surged out, freezing everything on the road. Boom. At this moment, Tiger King drew his bow and shot the arrow in one go. The Moon Ice skill was blocked by Tiger King's Ice skill. At this time, Su Wu's slave skill was completed. The Blind Horus paused slightly. It stopped attacking. Congratulations on successfully enslaving the Blind Horus. You get Horus's devotion, experience plus 4,000 * 60,029. You get the green suit, Horus 6203 no recognition 60,024. You get the orange unique weapon, Horus's staff. Orange unique weapon detected. Your other multiple gains will be converted into magic equipment of equal value to Horus's staff, Eye of Horus 60,024. You get 10 blood crystals 60,024. You get 10 soul crystals 60,024. The suit, orange unique weapon, equivalent magic equipment, and materials are all given. Su Wu's eyes lit up. He first looked at the spoils. Horus's staff. Orange unique. Spirit plus 10000. Enchantment, Sunfire. Release a Sunfire at the target, causing 100% spiritual damage to the target. Cast under the sun, the damage is increased by 10 times. Consume 100 spirit points. Enchantment, Moon Chill. Release a Moon Chill to the target, causing 100% spirit value damage to the target and making the target inert for 10 seconds. Cast under the moon, the damage is increased by 10 times. Consume 100 spirit points. Enchantment, Sun and Moon Intertwined. Release a ray of ice and fire light that ignores defense to the target, and continuously cause 100% spirit value plus 100% strength value damage to the target every second, lasting for 10 seconds, consuming 1000 spirit points per second. Eye of Horus. Blue, magic item. Horus was deducted his eyes because he peeked into the secrets of the mysterious Cthulhu when he was patrolling the sky. This eye hides a coordinate, and you can enter the Thorn Sin dungeon by changing the coordinates. Rescue the Thorn Saint Inissa of the Church of Light who was imprisoned in the Thorn Sin dungeon to gain the friendship of the Church of Light and other benefits. Crush the eye to teleport directly into the dungeon. Team formation is allowed. Non-experienced dungeons can obtain the universal currency of the universe, amethyst coins. Note: after using the Eye of Horus, it will completely disappear and cannot be reused. This thing is the key to another dungeon. Su Wu's eyes moved after seeing it, and a strange light flashed in his eyes. He didn't expect to get such an item. This is not something that can be produced in ordinary dungeons. If it weren't for the multiplier rule brought by his seal of the King of Servant, which doubled the items dedicated to slavery, and then conflicted with the rules of some orange unique items, he would not have obtained such an item. Otherwise, Su Wu couldn't have gotten such an item in such a simple dungeon. Universal currency purple crystal coin. Su Wu couldn't help but take out a few purple crystals. This was the spoils he got from the Count of Ugly Country. He thought it was the secret currency of Blue Star. Unexpectedly, it was the universal currency of the universe. Su Wu looked at the green suit, Horus's indifference. This is a magic suit, and it has a limited user group. Song Nang is a professional of the Horus clan with an eagle head. This thing is useless to Su Wu, and it is useless to humans. Buzz, you have completed the dungeon mission. After a 5-second countdown, automatically teleport away. 5, 4, 1. Su Wu returned to the slave space after a flash of light. This time he conquered the Styx dungeon and gained a total of 5,420,261,000 experience points. Obtained 13.505500 soul crystals and blood crystals each. 12.905160 soul scepters. 60,024 eyes of Horus. 60,024 sets of Horus's dishonesty. 10 drops of soul blood. 1 scepter of Horus, let alone anything else. The experience alone is enough for Su Wu. Add to that other gains. Just from this dungeon income, he can get at least 100 billion gold coins. This is a rough estimate after deducting the soul blood. So cool. Immediately, he looked at the skills of the blind Horus. Sunfire. Continuously releases Sunfire, causing 100% of the target's mental damage per second, lasting for 10 seconds, consuming 1000 points of mental value per second, and cooling down for 5 minutes. Note: you cannot change direction while releasing this skill. Moon Cold Ice. Summon the Moon Scepter, release a silver moon cold light damage containing 50% of the mental damage to the target, and slow the target, which lasts for 60 seconds. Consumes 1000 points of mental value, and cools down for 10 minutes. Sword of Judgment. Summon a sword of ice and fire condensed from the fire of the sun and the ice of the moon. The sword of ice and fire falls from the air and judges the target. If the target does not attack Horus, it will suffer 100% of the spiritual value of physical damage. If it attacks Horus, it will suffer 500% of the spiritual value of physical and magical damage. And ignite the target, causing 50% of the spiritual value damage to the target every second, lasting for 60 seconds, causing a freezing effect on the target. The target cannot move in the frozen state, and cannot cast spells lasting for 60 seconds, skill cooldown time 30 minutes. Falcon Form. Transformed into the true God form, the 4-dimensional attributes are temporarily increased by 10 times, and the invincible golden body state is obtained for 10 seconds. The talent lasts for 30 seconds. The cooldown time is 1 hour. This Horus is also a good fighter. Take it, take it. Su Wu muttered softly. Su Wu, who was about to upgrade Horus, had a thought. If promoted like this, Horus's power won't increase much. If we use the synthesis skill to make it start from level 0. Thinking of this, Su Wu started to think. Who under his command can merge with the blind Horus? Morgana. Su Wu looked up at Morgana, who was standing aside stroking the scepter of harvest. Morgana was stunned and hurried to Su Wu. Master, are you willing to merge with Horus? I can't guarantee anything else, but you can at least get more powerful than you have now. Su Wu said to Morgana. Morgana's eyes jumped after hearing this, and she looked at Su Wu and whispered, Master, are you serious? When she said this, her voice was a little hoarse, and there was an alluring excitement. To be honest, she had long wanted to get rid of the shackles of this body. The body of a level 5 boss, plus the improvement Su Wu got when he was at his weakest. She is so weak now that she doesn't even have the mind to compete for favor. Being strong is what she desires in her heart. Okay, let's do it. Su Wu nodded, and he used the synthesis skill on Morgana and Horus. It is detected that the slave Morgana has independent consciousness, emotions, thoughts, and memories. Should it be synthesized with Morgana as the main and blind Horus as the auxiliary? Note: after the synthesis, the slave will be based on Morgana's image and everything, and Horus power will appear in the form of inheritance. Su Wu looked at the prompt in front of him, and a ball of joyful light bloomed in his eyes. Okay. Immediately, a ray of light flashed. Morgana and Horus merged into light one after another. Buzz. About 10 seconds later, The skill in Su Wu's hand glowed. A new Morgana appeared in front of Su Wu. This Morgana's pupils changed, one of her pupils turned red, and the other turned silver. As if the sun and the silver moon. Her height became about 1.78 meters. The demonic aura around her disappeared and turned into a sacred aura. Thank you for the gift, Master. Morgana felt the power brought by this body, and she bowed her head excitedly. Su Wu looked at her panel. Name: Morgana. Race: Alienated Fallen Angel. Profession: Judgment Mage. Identity: Su Wen. Slave. Level: 0. Strength: 10,000. Agility: 10,000. Spirit: 25,000 plus 500. Constitution: 10,000. Equipment: Harvest Scepter, Storage Ring. 32. Skills: Dark Shield, Sun Fire, Moon Cold Ice. Talent: Fallen Angel Form. Dark Shield summons a dark magic shield that can resist 660,000 points of attack for all friendly units within a range of 66,000 meters. Duration: 6,600 minutes. Cooldown time: 5 minutes. Consumes 10 points of spirit. Sun Fire continuously releases Sun Fire, causing 200 times the target's spiritual value damage per second, lasting 2,000 seconds, consuming 1,000 spiritual points per second, and cooling down for 5 minutes. Moon Cold Ice. Summon the Moon Scepter, release a silver moon cold light damage containing 100 times the spiritual value damage to the target, and slow the target. The slowdown lasts for 12,000 seconds. Consume 1,000 spiritual points, cooling down for 10 minutes. Fallen Angel Form. Transformed into Fallen Angel Form, the 4-dimensional attributes are temporarily increased by 2,000 times, and the invincible golden body state is obtained for 2,000 seconds. The talent lasts for 6,000 seconds. Cooling time is 1 hour. The skills and talent effects of the combined skills are blessed with 200 times the attribute blessing, and it is blessed like this. Morgana at level 1 is simply outrageous. Su Wu exhaled. He looked at Morgana in front of him and took out the blood crystal. After some testing, it was discovered. Morgana needs 1,000 level 10 blood crystals for each level upgrade. This is simply too scary. Su Wu took out the blood crystals and asked Ahri to upgrade. One level 10 blood crystal consumes 100 attribute points in Ahri's attribute pool. 1,000 is 100,000 points. Morgana needs to upgrade to level 50. That is 50,000. It takes 5 million attribute points. Ahri has accumulated a total of 6,234,000 attribute points in this short period of time. After upgrading Morgana this time, she only has 1,234,000 attribute points left. Don't look at these attribute points. Whether it is an upgrade or a gain, the required amount is not a small number. This is not enough for Su Wu. Fortunately, Su Wu has enough blood crystals. Buzz. Soon, Morgana began to upgrade. Su Wu found that Morgana's level was upgraded by 1. Strength increased by 20,000, agility increased by 20,000, spirit increased by 50,000, and constitution increased by 20,000. These are just the basic attributes. Add to that the 60,024 times attribute of Su Wu's slave gain and the skill gain. Morgana's strength, agility and constitution increase by 1.20048 billion attribute points per level. The spirit increases by 3.0012 billion attribute points. This increase is terrifying. Morgana's 4-dimensional attributes at level 50 are: Strength, 60.02401 billion. Agility, 60.02401 billion. Spirit, 150.060 billion plus 500. Constitution, 60.02401 billion. This is almost superb. It can be called invincible. Su Wu's eyes were wide open. As Morgana's level increased, his skills and talents were also upgraded to level 5. Among them, the Dark Shield increases the range by 100 meters per level, increases the resistance data of the Dark Magic Shield by 100 million, and increases the duration by 10 minutes. Under the slave buff, the level 5 Dark Shield has a coverage range of 30,018 kilometers, and can summon a Dark Magic Shield for friendly forces that can resist 3,0186 million points of damage. The duration changes to 421 days. Such a shield is invincible. The most important thing is, the cooling time is still 5 minutes, and the consumption of mental value is only 10 points. It is not an exaggeration to call it a magical skill. This is just one skill. The improvement of the other 3 skills is even more famous for BT. Sunfire, level 5 continuously release the Sunfire, causing 3,200,000 times the mental value of damage to the target per second. The duration is 34 days, consuming 1,000 points of mental value per second, and cooling down for 5 minutes. Moon Cold Ice, level 5, summon the Moon Scepter, release a silver moon cold light damage containing 3,1300 times the mental value of damage to the target, and cause slowness to the target, and the slowness lasts for 35 days. Consume 1,000 points of mental value, cooling down for 10 minutes. Fallen Angel Form, level 5, transformed into Fallen Angel Form. The 4-dimensional attributes are temporarily increased by 3,003,299 times, and the invincible golden body state is obtained for 34 days. The duration of the talent is 34 days. The cooling time is 1 hour. Ha, you alone can catch up with thousands of troops. Su Wu couldn't help but comment. Morgana raised her head excitedly, and she blinked frequently at Su Wu. Morgana is willing to serve the master for life. Okay. Su Wu immediately gave Morgana the Scepter of Horus. He also let Morgana try the Horus 6 Relatives Recognition set, but Morgana couldn't wear it. He had to give up. Morgana's improvement made all the servants except Ahri envious. Gobmai kept blinking, wanting, she also wanted such a powerful opportunity. 0. Su Wu gave the slaves some instructions on farming in the slave space, which made them feel relieved. He then looked at his panel. Now he still has 2 second-level talents that need experience points to increase. Su Wu did not hesitate. He directly used experience points on the second-level freezing and second-level serving. After consuming 420 million experience points, the 2 talents have been upgraded to level 10. Su Wu still has 4.98261 billion experience points left. He looked at the 2 talents. Second level freezing, level 10, full level SSSSS-Level, within a range of 1,600 kilometers, all forces or targets attacking you will be frozen. Frozen state. Unable to move, attack failure, the target continues to lose 1.2000100 points of physical fitness per second, and when the physical fitness is 0, the target dies. Duration 10 days. Passive trigger. Second turn resurrection, 10th level SSSSS-Level. Every 24 hours, you have 6,402 opportunities to instantly revive in full state without carrying personal belongings at the anchor coordinates or the place of death, and you will be invincible within 1 hour and 30 minutes after resurrection. Can I say I can rest easy now? Who can attack me from 1599 kilometers away within a range of 1,600 kilometers? Su Wu muttered with satisfaction while holding his stomach. Now I have experience. Talent has been promoted to the full level. I also verified the strength of my slaves and received a very generous reward. It's time to go back. Thinking of this, Su Wu entered the Chenkin network and used the last free ultra-long distance transmission function. He chose the transmission center of the headquarters of Shengxia Academy as his destination. Buzz. Accompanied by a flash of light, Su Wu disappeared in the control hall of Har Castle. Buzz. In the teleportation center of the Shengxia Academy headquarters, a white light flashed. Su Wu appeared on the exclusive teleportation array. There are 6 such teleportation arrays. They are specially prepared for the professors, teachers and high-ranking officials of the academy. The one that Su Wu appeared on. It is the special teleportation array for the special departments of the empire. Clang. At this time, the guard saluted Su Wu, who was looking up at the surroundings. Su Wu looked around. I saw that this array was suspended in the air. He could see the outside scene through the transparent glass walls around him. I saw. The outside world is like a fairyland. The pavilions and towers hidden in the clouds are looming. There are also many floating mountains rotating along a certain trajectory. There is a modern school below. There are playgrounds and teaching buildings in the school. Standing here, Su Wu can faintly hear the music coming from the teaching playground below. Far away, there are layers of magic shields wrapped in layers. The huge shield reflected colorful light under the sun. This, 857, is similar to the immortal sect he imagined. But here, there is also a touch of alien in the immortal aura. That is the unique buildings with various magical colors, which seem to be out of tune with the current environment. Click. Su Wu walked down the teleportation array. He went straight outside according to the prompt of the center. Just as he went out, an old man with white beard followed Ling Juxiao, the dean of Juyu Academy, towards this side. Click. The three met at the door by chance. Dean Ling. Su Wu was stunned and looked up at the other party. Ling Juxiao looked at Su Wu, and just as he was about to say something, his eyes suddenly condensed. He looked at Su Wu in disbelief and asked, "Have you upgraded your talent to the maximum level?" "Yes, all the second-level talents that can be upgraded have been upgraded. There are still a few permanent first-level talents that have not been upgraded to the maximum level." Su Wu nodded, and then asked, "Did you sense it through that talisman?" "Haha, that talisman is a rule prop. It can only detect whether your talent is at the maximum level and whether the level meets my needs, and send this information to me. As for your other information, it will not record it, nor will it collect any of your private information." Ling Juxiao explained with a smile. He then introduced Su Wu. "Su Wu. This is our Shengxia Academy's Principal Li Qingping, Principal Ji." "Hello, Principal Li." Su Wu extended a hand of friendship. This Li Qingping is also a well-known task in the Shengxia Empire. However, his career path is not the way of God, but the way of saint. It's just that, in this era, it is as difficult as ascending to heaven to become a saint. Li Qingping shook hands with Su Wu, and he smiled and said, "It is true that heroes come from youth. For your experience, I solemnly apologize to you on behalf of the school." "You are polite," Su Wu responded calmly. Li Qingping took out a palm-sized jade box. He solemnly handed the thing to Su Wu. "This is our school's apology." Then, he chatted with Su Wu for a few more words before leaving. Ling Juxiao took Su Wu to the school's teaching department, where he handled the admission information. At the same time, he also opened the Shengxia Academy module of Chengkin Network for Su Wu. Through the Shengxia Academy module, Su Wu can make an appointment for the open classes offered by the Academy, as well as the expression of the teleportation array, pay tuition and accommodation fees, etc. He can also choose a dormitory, etc. These Su Wu just briefly understood it. Ling Juxiao borrowed an office and walked in with Su Wu. He first said, "What Principal Li gave you is what I asked for. There is a flying sword and a volume of talent in it. First learn the talent and then control the flying sword. After that, how far this sword can reach depends on your efforts." "Dean, are there also sword immortals among our professionals?" Su Wu was stunned and couldn't help asking. Ling Juxiao laughed. "Of course there are. There are gods and gods in myths and legends. Our Juyu Academy's main research direction is in this aspect." "Okay, since you have completed the first trial, the second trial has begun. This second trial requires you to upgrade as much as possible within 1 month." He looked at Su Wu and said. Su Wu was stunned, and he scratched his head. "Just tell me how many levels you want me to upgrade to." "Level 40. Ling Juxiao was stunned, and he laughed. "It seems that you are very confident in yourself. Oh, by the way, you got a 100x experience card, no wonder you are so confident. Okay, when you reach level 40, I will come to see you and tell you about the third trial. Remember, you must upgrade to level 40 within 1 month." After saying that, he stood up and was about to leave. Click. Su Wu stopped Ling Juxiao in one step. "Wait a moment." "What?" Ling Juxiao was stunned. "What's going on?" Before he could speak, Su Wu's body burst into a golden light. In the blink of an eye, Su Wu actually upgraded by 1 level. But it's not over yet. Buzz, 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 accompanied by the blooming of golden light. Ling Juxiao couldn't help but widen his eyes and shouted, "How much experience have you accumulated?" Then, he was shocked by the aura overflowing from Su Wu. How is it possible? He just reached level 40. How could he have such a powerful power? Even I feel a feeling of unmatched. Could it be an illusion? Ling Juxiao couldn't help but mutter to himself. He thought it might be related to his research on the outer god. Maybe I'm a little psychotic recently. It seems I need to rest well. He muttered softly. Su Wu quickly completed the promotion. He looked at Ling Juxiao. "Dean, I have completed the second trial. This promotion, he spent a total of 6.5 million experience." Ling Juxiao sensed the token he gave to Su Wu and nodded immediately. He frowned and thought for a while, then entered the Chenkin network to check some information. Only then did he select a suitable trial for Su Wu. Okay. Tomorrow morning, there will be a team from the main school that will gather at the 6th assembly point. This is a trial team that will participate in the overseas rescue mission. This trial is about whether we can win the friendship of the Church of Light. Competing with us are the level 40 professionals from the Ugly Country, John, and the White Elephant Country. Although your profession is a bit special, it should not be a problem considering Wu Yu's admiration for you. By the way, during the trial, you can use the universal currency of the universe, amethyst coins, to purchase resource props in the trial copy. You can use gold coins or contribution points to exchange in our Shengxia Academy module through the Chenkin network. After the instructions, Ling Juxiao got up and left. Su Wu was shocked after hearing this. He thought of the Eye of Horus he had just obtained, and couldn't help but smile confidently. Isn't this the case that Ah Chao's mother met Ah Chao's grandfather? Muttering, he first entered the Shengxia Academy module of the Chenkin network. Welcome, Su Wu, please pay the tuition fee of 10,000 contribution points and 1,000 gold coins within 3 days. Su Wu directly entered the Academic Affairs Office module of Shengxia Academy and paid the corresponding tuition. After completion, he entered the dormitory module. I saw that the dormitories of Shengxia Academy are divided into 3 levels. One is a free dormitory, which is a dormitory for 6 people, using public toilets and public bathrooms. There is only one paid transmission hub in each building in the free area. 2 is a paid dormitory, which is a single room with a separate toilet and bathroom. The living environment is a dormitory building, and each room charges 10 contribution points per month, and the fee is charged on an annual basis. Each floor of each dormitory building has a paid transmission hub. 3 is an independent villa dormitory, which charges 100,000 contribution points per month, and the fee is also charged on an annual basis. It is different from other dormitories. The villa dormitory has an independent and free transmission array inside. Ling Su Wu was surprised. The dormitory of Shengxia Academy is located in an independent hidden space. This space is only for students and teachers of the school. Each area has different restrictions, and only people with corresponding permissions can enter. In other words, students of Shengxia Academy need to leave the dormitory through the teleportation array and enter the teaching area for class. Su Wu chose an independent villa dormitory. After entering the screen, he found a dormitory near the lake and made a choice. Please pay 1.2 million contribution points within 5 minutes. Otherwise, the application will automatically flow into the selection option. Please note, for dormitories in this area, students need to pay the room fee 6 months in advance, otherwise your residence qualification will be cancelled. Buzz. Su Wu came to the dormitory space through the internal teleportation array of the main campus. He appeared on the shore of a lake with green mountains and green waters. Surrounded by dense jungles, in front of him was a green lake with a diameter of about 10 kilometers. A villa was built every 1 kilometer on the shore of the lake. Welcome home, Master. I am your life puppet Alpha. When Su Wu walked out of the teleportation array of the villa, a humanoid magic puppet came to Su Wu and said kindly. Su Wu nodded. Take me on a tour. Yes, Alpha took the order. The villa covers an area of 1,000 square meters. There are 3 floors above ground and 1 floor below ground. The first floor is the banquet hall, the second floor is the guest room, and the third floor is the master bedroom. There is a huge terrace outside the master bedroom. The terrace surrounds the villa, with some potted flowers and climbing plants. There is a huge swimming pool behind the villa, and you can jump directly into the swimming pool from the terrace on the 3rd floor. There is a pavilion and a barbecue area next to the swimming pool. The front of the villa faces a small lake. There is a dock in the area on the side of the main entrance. There is a small boat next to the dock and a fishing area. The basement is a training room with a defensive array. If you encounter an emergency or a death invasion, when the teleportation array cannot be used, students can teleport away from here through the 30 temporary teleportation arrays in the basement. In addition, you can use the dormitory module in the Chenkin network to order meals online, and mark the location on the dining table in our living room on the 1st floor. Alpha introduced seriously. If you have something to do temporarily, I will put the meal you ordered into the eternal array, which can keep the temperature and taste of the food forever until you take it out of it. This function is free, but it consumes a lot of magic energy. Magic energy is used first and then settled. For every ring used, you will be charged 100,000 gold coins, or 10,000 contribution points. After Su Wu finished Alpha's introduction, he told Alpha to go to the first floor. He came to the balcony on the third floor and lay directly on the lounge chair under the parasol. He first opened the jade box that Principal Li Qingping had given him. There was a talent scroll in the box, and a delicate sword with a handle only the size of an index finger. Yes, this weapon was called a flying sword by Ling Jushao. Its appearance imitated the Han sword in the ancient history of the Shengxia Empire. Talent scroll. Natal flying sword, made by Li Qingping, principal of Shengxia Academy. After using it, it can establish a natal connection with a flying sword. After establishing the connection, the gifted person can control the flying sword with his mind. Su Wu couldn't help but get excited after seeing it. He directly used the natal flying sword talent scroll. Buzz. In an instant, a talent appeared on his talent panel. Su Wu hurriedly looked. He saw, natal flying sword. It has been alienated and cannot be advanced. Establish a natal connection with a flying sword, can hide the sword and body, and use the mind to control the flying sword. After the flying sword is damaged, it can be repaired by consuming a certain amount of mental value. If the flying sword is damaged, this talent can consume a large amount of mental value and materials to reconstruct the flying sword. Note: this talent is an alienation talent, which cannot be advanced, and can only be upgraded to level 10 at most. It seems that Principal Li Qingping also has skills similar to my alienation core. Su Wu immediately judged that this was a talent made by Ji Qingping himself. It is very likely that he copied his own talent. Of course, this needs to be verified by Su Wu. If there are many people using this talent in the academy, it proves that his guess is correct. At this moment, Su Wu entered the official mall of Shengxia Academy. He quickly found the talent of the natal flying sword. After checking it out, he found that this talent was indeed the talent copied by Li Qingping. It is only priced at 100,000 contribution points. But this natal flying sword requires 100 million contribution points to buy. This deal is really amazing. Su Wu couldn't help but smile after seeing it. He looked at his own natal flying sword. Teodi. Orange only, natal flying sword. Level 1, Constitution plus 10,000. Enchantment. Mind control. You can control it with your mind without delay. The control range is 100. Enchantment. Speed. The speed of the natal flying sword is 10 meters per second. Enchantment. Armor break. The armor breaking value of the natal flying sword is 100 points. Enchantment. Damage. The damage of the natal flying sword is 1000 points. Enchantment. Devour experience. You can upgrade the natal flying sword by consuming experience. In theory, it has no level limit. The more experience you inject, the greater the benefit you get. Note: only professionals with the innate flying sword talent can use this flying sword. Note: only professionals in the Shengxia Empire can use this flying sword. Su Wu's eyes jumped after seeing it. This is the legendary flying sword realized through magic power. He understood why Ling Jushao gave him this apology gift from the school. According to the classification of professions, Su Wu belongs to the summoning profession. Most of the skills of professionals like him basically act on summoned creatures. He does not have any powerful attack skills. If he cooperates with this flying sword, it will have great lethality. If he encounters a situation where he cannot use summoned creatures, this flying sword will be the main tool for Su Wu to turn defeat into victory. Ling Jushao is paving the way for him. It can be seen from this. Ling Jushao attaches great importance to Su Wu. In this case, Su Wu used his natal flying sword talent on Teodi. Buzz. I saw that the natal flying sword talent shook slightly, and a message already bound to Teodi flying sword was marked at the end. At this moment, Su Wu controlled the flying sword with his mind. With the help of his super memory talent, as long as he could control it perfectly once, he could completely copy the action. Soon, he became more and more proficient in controlling the flying sword. At this time, he began to inject experience into the flying sword. Buzz. Along with the injection of a large amount of experience, the level of the flying sword was also constantly improving. Do you want to consume 100 experience points to upgrade the Teoti? Do you want to consume 200 experience points to upgrade the Teoti? Do you want to consume 980,418,560 experience points to upgrade the Teoti? Buzz. The Teoti in Su Wu's hand flashed and returned to normal. This time, there was no prompt. Su Wu looked at his panel. He only saw. He still had 441,019,000 experience points left. Teoti was promoted to level 28. Su Wu looked at the Teoti flying sword again. Teoti. Orange only, natal flying sword. Level 28, Constitution plus 290,000. Enchantment. Mind control. You can control it with 0 delay through your mind, and the control range is 28,000 meters. Enchantment. Speed. Speed 280 meters per second. Enchantment. Armor break. Armor break value plus 28,100 points. Enchantment. Damage. Damage 2,801,000 points. Enchantment. Devour experience. Through this promotion, Su Wu discovered the experience required for each level of Teoti's promotion is twice that of the previous level. If he wants to continue to promote, he needs at least 1.1 billion experience points to continue. It's too difficult to raise a flying sword, Su Wu muttered softly. He then looked at his panel. Before, he was only concerned with upgrading, but forgot to check it. Now he has time. Name. Su Wu. Profession. Life Enslaver, the only hidden one. Title. Destroyer. Level. 40, 441,019,000 points, 200,000. Lifespan. 180 years. Luck. 100 points. Strength. 60,261,009 plus 700. Agility. 60,361,007 plus 700. Spirit. 60,261,012 plus 100,950. Physique. 60,561,009 plus 291,300. Other additional attributes. Block, 500. Equipment. 1,000 faces, golden crow armor, physical belt, imprisonment set, demon necklace. Slavery space level 40, 310 820ths, space diameter 2,608 kilometers. Environment. Jungle 6 kilometers, Phoenix Lake 1 kilometer, features. Level 6 resource space double growth. Plants planted in the space grow 10 times faster. To be advanced. Skills. Second turn enslavement, level 10, second turn summoning, second turn release, level 10, second turn synthesis, level 10, second turn shapeshifting, level 10, second turn transformation, level 10, second turn alienation core, level 10. Talents. Second turn service seal, level 10, second turn slave gain, level 10, second turn freezing, level 10, second turn resurrection, level 10, second turn skill growth gain, level 10, second turn damage transfer, second turn communication, devouring evolution, level 10, control immunity, level 10, super memory, summoning heroic spirits, illusion immunity, level 10, natal flying sword. Professional characteristics. 100 times growth, level 5, hiding, level 5, support, level 5. Quote exclamation mark dot 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 quote. Su Wu looked at his panel in shock, and his mood could not calm down for a long time. He is now far better than he was 5 hours ago. Tens of millions of attributes. The main reason is that after Su Wu obtained the Devouring Evolution talent, this talent was blessed with the second turn skill growth gain. In addition, the 500-fold growth increase of the professional characteristics. This allows Su Wu to get at least 6 million average 4-dimensional attribute increases at each level. This is simply terrifying. He looked at the slave space. The slave space increases 20 slave slots per level. Level 10 provides Su Wu with 200 slave slots. Such an increase does not satisfy Su Wu. He wants the life attribute gained by the second turn slavery to be transformed into reality as soon as possible. But he lacks the rule building for breeding. This depends on luck. If he can get such a building, then, for every new life in the slave space, he will get 12,010 slave slots and 12,001 points of advancement value. This is 1,000 times more than the data obtained by waiting for the upgrade. He put aside other thoughts. He clicked on the waiting for advancement. Now he has 2 points of advancement. He clicked these 2 points on the resource space. The resource space was promoted to level 8, and other data remained unchanged. Su Wu looked at his skills. Second turn enslavement, level 10. You can force enslave any existence whose level does not exceed your level 24,000, regardless of the other party's state. Slavery type: life, puppet, spirit of wisdom, natural disaster, regular building, natural environment with a diameter of 120 kilometers, enhancement talent, seal of servitude. The improvement of this skill is particularly shameless. But Su Wu likes it very much. The second turn skill enhancement talent amplifies all his skills and talents into divine skills. This is simply invincible. Su Wu's second transfer release skill has also been upgraded to level 10. Release the slaves and he can get 12,010 times the experience value and exclusive drops. The maximum distance of the second transformation at level 10 is 120,610 meters. This is definitely a magical skill for escaping and hunting. Second transfer synthesis, level 10, 2 or up to 24,400 slaves can be randomly synthesized. The synthesized slaves will 100% inherit the talents and skills of the synthesized slaves. 2 more per level. During the synthesis process, the values of the same skills and talents will be accumulated and superimposed, and inherited to the new slaves with a gain of 12,200 times. Second transformation, level 10, convert non-living slaves into living slaves, with a 100% chance of obtaining talents and a 100% chance of obtaining a new skill. Each time consumes 100 points of physique. Second transformation alien core, level 10, use 1000 blood crystals to condense 1 alien core. Alien core can extract the talent of slaves and transfer it to professionals or other slaves. An alien core can only be extracted once and transferred once. Alien core can extract 1202 talents of the target. Note: the talent transferred by the alien core can only be upgraded to level 10 at most, and cannot be transferred for the second time. After the talent is extracted, the slave will die. Unlike other skills, the second transformation and the second transformation alien core have 2 more attributes. The extraction attribute of the alien core is that when the skill is upgraded to level 10, it obtains a data gain of 1200 times of a talent. Such an alien core is simply unreasonable. After looking at the panel, Su Wu entered the Chenkin network and ordered a meal worth 1,000 contribution points from the school's online restaurant. After eating, then he returned to the living room on the 3rd floor. He sat on the sofa and muttered, "Tomorrow's trial is related to the Holy Light Church. Since it is to gain the friendship of the Holy Light Church, then the copy that the Eye of Horus leads to can allow me to gain the friendship of the Holy Light Church in advance." Said. He took out the Eye of Horus. "Change your suit first." Su Wu took out the second-level exclusive professional suit he got from the Blue Star Life and Death trial from the slave space. Shadow of Shadow Scale Armor. Green, Constitution plus 2,000 points, Shadow Suit 3/3. Shadow of Shadow Leather Pants. Green, Constitution plus or minus 2,000 points, Shadow Suit 33. Shadow of Shadow Boots. Green, Agility plus 2,000 points, Shadow Suit 3/3. 1 item Constitution plus 2,000. 2 items Constitution plus 5,000. Agility plus 5,000. 3 items Constitution plus 5,000. Agility plus 5,000. Skill: Shadow. You will become a shadow floating outside of time and space, and all control, imprisonment, seals, and attacks directed at or attached to you will fail. Duration: 10 seconds, consumes 1,000 points of Constitution per second, and cools down for 10 minutes. Upgrade the talent to the full level. Su Wu looked at the data on his panel and turned to look at the talent. He still has 3 alienated talents that have not been upgraded. They are Super Memory, Summoning Heroic Spirits and Natal Flying Sword. Su Wu entered the shop of Shengxia Academy again, and after searching, he found the primary talent promotion scroll. 100,000 contribution points per scroll. Expensive. Su Wu muttered softly. He turned to the Mall of the Empire Special Talent Service Center. Here, each primary talent promotion scroll is only 10,000 contribution points. There is a difference of 10 times. It seems that I have to buy things from the Empire in the future. Su Wu muttered softly. He bought 30 primary talent promotion scrolls and spent 300,000 contribution points. At this time, he still had 10.92949 billion contribution points. Su Wu upgraded these 3 talents to the full level of level 10. Summon Heroic Spirit, level 10, cannot be upgraded, has been alienated and cannot be advanced. 3,600 times the chance to summon a hero of the same race that resonates with your own blood and soul. Consumes 10,000 spirit points, cooldown time 30 days. Super Memory, level 10, cannot be upgraded, has been alienated and cannot be advanced, can remember everything you have seen, down to any detail, and will never forget. Brain capacity increased by 12,001 times. Nativity Flying Sword, level 10, cannot be upgraded, has been alienated and cannot be advanced, establishes a natal connection with 12,001 flying swords. Among the 3 talents, only the multiplier of summoning heroes has been increased by 1,200 times the growth gain of the second level skill. Obviously, the number of summoned heroes of this skill is determined by the number of job transfers. The 12,001 times brain capacity of super memory makes Su Wu's mind extremely clear and bright, and his head seems to have become much lighter. The natal flying sword talent is outrageous and allows Su Wu to have the ability to control a large number of flying swords. This is a question worth studying. Su Wu has everything ready. He took out the Eye of Horus again. According to it, Horus had his eyes taken away because he saw the secret of the mysterious Cthulhu. So this time Su Wu guessed that his target was most likely Cthulhu or the Weird. He thought for a moment and crushed the Eye of Horus with force. Buzz! A space wave appeared around him. The next second, Su Wu disappeared from the room and entered a dim passage. This passage was built of stone and had no windows. There was a wall behind Su Wu, and only the front could pass. Buzz! Welcome to the Thorn Sin Dungeon. This dungeon is not an experience dungeon. No monster will provide you with experience. You can get purple gold coins through this dungeon. Task: rescue the Thorn Saint Inissa, and you will get the friendship of the Church of Light. Task failure: you will get the trust of the Church of Light. The monster level in this instance is 60. Your current level is too low. Before leaving the corridor, you can use teleportation skills or abilities to leave this instance. Otherwise, please try your best to complete the task, even if you die in the middle. If I leave, I won't be here, Su Wu muttered jokingly. He strode forward to the front of the passage. When he reached the end of the passage, a closed stone door opened automatically. Behind the stone door was a huge room. It was at least hundreds of thousands of square meters in size. A giant octopus appeared on the ceiling light in the room. The head of the octopus hung upside down on the ceiling light, and its tentacles were like the roots of an old tree. They were spread out on the roof in an orderly manner. And these tentacles also hung down along the roof and partly toward the surrounding walls. The head of this octopus was covered with dense compound eyes. Su Wu first summoned Morgana, Fiery Fox, Gobmai and Ahri. Then, he used the detection technique to look at the octopus. Barrage Guard. Level: 60. Race: Guard Puppet. Skill: Missile. Each missile causes 1,000 points of magic damage to the intruder and slows the intruder for 1 second. Features: Invincible. Description: release missiles according to a certain pattern. Every 10 minutes, change the missile flight speed once, a total of 6 speeds. Start from slow. Su Wu's eyes moved slightly after seeing it. This is the first time he has seen a puppet without 4-dimensional attributes. He turned his head and looked at Morgana 300. Morgana immediately understood. She raised the staff of Horus in her hand, and fired a sunfire at the guard puppet on the roof. Boom! The scorching light almost burned through the space. But the bombardment had no effect on the barrage guard. Seeing this, Su Wu asked Morgana to cast the dark shield on him and the slaves. After putting on the dark magic shield that can resist 3 billion points of damage, Su Wu and the slaves seemed to have turned into black eggs. This is the same as before. Although its appearance is black, the people inside can see everything around them clearly. Su Wu then led the team to walk inside. Boom! At this moment, a light was stirred up under Su Wu's feet, and the barrage guard was suddenly awakened. Buzz! 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 I saw that a dense barrage was stirred up in the room. If you look closely, the gaps between the barrage are staggered, and it is a rotating attack from top to bottom. Moreover, the flying speed of the missile is very slow, only 5 centimeters per second. Su Wu subconsciously dodged the barrage while walking towards the barrage guard. This scene reminded him of the barrage defense game he played in his previous life. Interesting, Su Wu muttered softly. When he was close to 300 meters away from the barrage guard, the barrage suddenly accelerated. The slaves following closely behind Su Wu were walking leisurely. The missiles made a series of bang, bang, bang sounds on the dark shield. Su Wu tried to dodge in all directions. However, the dark shield limited his flexibility and increased the contact area of the missiles. This made the dodge game he had been excited about suddenly become boring. Forget it. Just rush. Su Wu walked forward with his eyes on the rotating barrage that was accelerated by 3 times. When he was about 10 meters away from the barrage guard, he used the slave skill on the barrage guard. Buzz. Congratulations on successfully enslaving the barrage guard. You get the barrage guard's dedication, 1 mystic core 60,024. You get 10 amethyst coins 60,024. You get the trust of the Holy Church of Light plus 1.60,024. Su Wu's eyes jumped after seeing it. This can also be blessed. He first looked at the spoils. Mystic core. The core of the mysterious sect, through which you can absorb mysterious power. This is a necessary material for the advancement of the mysterious path profession. Trust of the Holy Church of Light. Your rescue behavior was sensed by the Holy Church of Light, and you gained their trust. The mystic core is a crystal core, similar to the alienated core condensed by blood crystals. The trust of the Holy Church of Light is a card with a string of values on it. Not bad. Su Wu looked at the barrage guardian that had curled up into a sphere with a diameter of 1 meter, and said to Ahri, "This thing can be placed in the slave space as a means of playing. Master, it is recommended that you transform it into life. This thing can become something like a symbiote, which can bring you additional defense and attack." Ahri gave a suggestion. Su Wu's eyes moved after hearing it. This is a good idea. He did not practice it immediately, but he put the barrage guardian into the slave space. Continue to walk forward. Squeak. He entered the second room. There was also a barrage guardian in this room. Su Wu stared at the attack of the barrage guardian and quickly enslaved it. That's it. After Su Wu enslaved 12 barrage guardians in succession, he came to the main hall of an ancient palace. The main hall is about tens of thousands of square meters, and the pillars in the hall are as thick as 10 people. A giant sculpture made of pure gold stands in the middle. It was a giant 2-headed ogre that was 10 meters tall. It held a golden tribal flag in its hand. Crack. Just when Su Wu walked 10 meters into the hall, the giant 2-headed ogre statue suddenly turned and faced Su Wu. Buzz. In an instant, the door of the hall closed automatically. A light lit up on the wall. This light not only covered the wall, but also the entire palace. Su Wu and his slaves were instantly trapped in a bubble. What is this? Su Wu looked up. The ogre statue waved its flag. Boom. In an instant, a dense crowd of 2-headed ogres appeared opposite Su Wu. They held giant hammers in their hands and were angrily and violently killing Su Wu. Su Wu used detection on them immediately. What's going on? He frowned. The detection failed. Then, he used the enslavement skill on an ogre near the front. At this time, the fiery fox and Morgana attacked the ogres at the same time. Boom, boom, boom. Under the powerful attack, these ogres were instantly dispersed like bubbles. It doesn't work, Su Wu whispered softly. Seeing this, Gobmai tried to touch these ogres to see if they were real. Bang! A huge hammer head fell. Gobmai's body trembled, and she almost failed to block the attack. What's going on? Their attacks are real. This is the Illusionary Legion. Master, enslave the golden sculpture. Ahri saw the details here at this time and suggested to Su Wu. Su Wu's eyes moved, and he patted Morgana's shoulder. Use your skills to your heart's content. I will follow your orders. Morgana was overjoyed after hearing this, and she waved the scepter in her hand. Boom. In an instant, 2 skills were released from her eyes. Sun Fire, Moon Ice. The 2 skills are like 2 rays of death. In an instant, the enemies in front of Morgana were instantly eliminated. She turned her head to one side and swept. The condensed light moved with her movement. In a flash, half of the enemies in the hall were instantly killed by these 2 rays. Su Wu also came not far from the golden ogre at this time. Slavery. He didn't bother to detect the sculpture and directly used the enslavement skill. Buzz. A soft humming sound of air vibration sounded. The slaves who were fighting against the endless ogres stopped. The enemies in the hall disappeared. The golden ogre sculpture turned into a king chess piece and flew into Su Wu's hand. Buzz. Congratulations on successfully enslaving the golden ogre king chess. You get the dedication of the golden ogre king chess. Get 100 mysterious cores 60,024. Get 1,000 purple crystal coins 60,024. Get 100 points of trust from the Holy Church of Light 60,024. Get 1 copy of the Last Wish of the Golden Ogre King 60,024. What is this? Su Wu immediately looked at the Last Wish of the Golden Ogre. Golden Ogre's Last Wish. Mission card. I just walked through his toes and was turned into a chess piece in the mysterious Cthulhu game. What a terrible fate. Lucky professional, my wish is simple. Please take this mission card into the Golden Breeding Hall, and use my golden body to indulge for 6 hours. In return, I will give you my treasure. Description. This mission is not limited to time or area. Note. This mission may be an opportunity or a trap, please distinguish it yourself. Mission. Need me to find the Golden Breeding Hall. Although this is consistent with my goal, where can I find such a regular building? Su Wu shook his head. He then looked at the chess piece in his hand. Golden Ogre King Chess, Strange Boss. Level 60. Race. Mysterious Puppet. Features. Invincible, Immortal. Skills. Illusionary Legion, Imprisonment Chessboard. Affiliation. Su Wu Slavery. Mysterious Puppet. This is a new puppet. Su Wu looked at the characteristics and skills of the chess piece. Invincible. The golden body is invincible, any attack is ineffective against it, and it is immune to all magic skills. Immortal. Incorruptible and immortal, eternal. Illusionary Legion. Using the Master's Spirit as the energy source, it releases an endless number of illusionary legions. The Illusionary Legion has no entity like an illusory bubble, which will burst with a rub, but its attacks are real, causing 1 million damage to the target with each hit. Consumes 10,000 spirit points per minute. Imprisonment Chessboard. Enclose the target in the space of the imprisonment chessboard, making it impossible for the opponent to leave the current space. The damage to the Illusionary Legion is increased by 5 times, the number is increased by 5 times, the summoning speed is increased by 5 times, and the mental consumption is reduced by 10%. The duration is 3 hours. So, just now the Golden King Chess used the imprisonment chessboard first, and then the Illusionary Legion skill. Su Wu muttered softly. According to the King Chess panel and skill introduction, the Golden Ogre King Chess is an immortal existence. All attacks are useless to it, and skills are useless. What about the Illusionary Legion? It is summoned again. Although its defense is 0, it will break with a rub. But the attack is real. There is no solution. Want to pass through here? There is only one way. Persist until the imprisonment chessboard is invalid. Then escape directly from another door. Su Wu has a general strategy for this place. He then led the team to the front. On the other side of the palace is a large bedroom. There is a soft princess bed in the bedroom. Next to it is an exquisite dressing table. There is also a 4-door European-style gold-inlaid wardrobe. There is a painting hanging on the wall. In the painting is a saint in a monk's robe. The saint is kneeling on the ground with her hands clasped in prayer. Rumble. Suddenly, the house moved. When Su Wu turned his head to observe, he was shocked to find that there was a huge eye in front of the window peeking inside. Hey, Anessa, I found some toys for you. Come out quickly. A silly voice sounded. This sound was like thunder, which made Su Wu's head buzz. What is it? Su Wu muttered softly. Crash. Suddenly, the whole room seemed to be lifted up by someone, and then shook twice. Su Wu and the slaves were shaken dizzy. Despite their current physical fitness, there is no danger in hitting another wall from one wall. But this feeling is not good. There are still several beautiful young ladies in here. If you don't come out, I will have to nong them. The silly voice was threatening with a hint of anger. Master, look at that painting. Gobmai's horrified voice sounded. Su Wu and others looked up. The woman in the painting stood up from her kneeling prayer. She opened her eyes. It seemed that she was looking outside the painting. This scene was quite strange. Ahri carefully observed the surroundings, and she said to Su Wu, Master, we have entered the weird regular building. It's not that there are super large monsters outside, but that we have become smaller. Regular building. Su Wu's eyes moved. He immediately stared at the house and whispered, slavery. Buzz. A ray of light lit up in the room. The next second, the vibration of the room disappeared. What happened? Why is my toy house not obedient? Wow, 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 Dad, Dad, the silly voice shouted twice and suddenly burst into tears. Buzz, congratulations on successfully enslaving Barbie's toy house. ... At this time, a prompt appeared in front of Su Wu. At this moment, the woman in the painting came out. This is a blonde, slim woman with a strange fragrance. There was a panic in her eyes. Everyone. I am the Thorn Saint Inessa of the Church of Light. If you believe me, I can seal you in the painting. Who is that guy outside? Su Wu stared at the woman and asked. He looked quite envious. Such a beautiful NPC. Too pitiful. Too hateful. How can you imprison her here as a toy? Inessa looked up at Su Wu and said solemnly, Warrior, I understand your thoughts very well, but the existence outside is too dangerous. It is Barbie, the son of the mysterious Playmaster. When she said this, the crying outside disappeared. A 2-meter-tall humanoid puppet suddenly pushed open the window of Barbie's toy house. Its mouth drooled like a flood. Hee. Inessa, you finally came out. Let's play hide and seek together. If you are found by me, you will help me fulfill a wish. I want to give me a grandson. Hee. Silly Barbie said greedily. Its eyes looked at Ahri again, and swept over Morgana and Gobmai. These girls play together. In its eyes, there are only beauties. Su Wu and the fiery fox seemed like air. Su Wu used the detection spell on it immediately. Uni Barbie, Weird King Level Boss. Level 60. Race, Weird Toy. Strength, 45 million. Agility, 50 million. Spirit, 45 million. Constitution, 60 million. Skills, Dancing Level 6, Hide and Seek Level 6, Summon Fatherly Love Level 6. Talent, Immortality, Barbie's Toy. Hiss, what a weird panel. Su Wu took a breath. Inessa looked at Uni Barbie in horror. She didn't answer or look at Barbie. She turned and ran into the painting. Sorry, everyone. Gobmai, who was looking at Uni Barbie strangely, suddenly trembled. Poof, she exploded in an instant. A layer of light was stirred up on Ahri's body. A layer of black mist appeared at the edge of the light. Morgana just blinked, and she felt something electrocuted her. Master. At this time, Ahri and Morgana called at the same time. Su Wu's eyes condensed, and when he looked up, his eyes met with Uni Barbie's. An inexplicable crisis arose spontaneously, and he took the lead to use the skill, slavery. Chapter 91. Buzz. Su Wu heard a faint vibration. The Uni Barbie standing outside the window quieted down, and it knelt down and kowtowed to Su Wu. Congratulations on successfully enslaving Uni Barbie. You have obtained Uni Barbie's dedication, the only item in the staring color, Barbie's baton, squeak. Orange only item detected. Specially convert other equal amounts of dedication into materials of equal value. 10 pieces of weird source crystals 60,024. You have obtained 100,000 *6002 mysterious cores. You have obtained 1,000 pieces of amethyst coins 60,024. You have obtained 10,000 points of trust from the Holy Church of Light 60,024. In the blink of an eye, Su Wu has already harvested a lot of spoils. He put the things into the slavery space one after another. First, he looked at the Weird Source Crystal. Weird Source Crystal, a necessary resource for forging SSSSS-Level weird weapons. As Barbie's baton forged with this, Su Wu took out Barbie's baton in confusion. This thing is no different from the baton of an ordinary musician. It's just a little pink. 120. He looked at the panel of the baton. Barbie's baton. Orange only. Spirit plus 10 million points. Enchantment. Mental retardation. All designated lives within a 10-kilometer range, IQ is reduced to 5 points. Enchantment. Listen to my command. Wave the baton and state the request. All designated lives within a 10-kilometer range will completely obey your command, regardless of level and rank. Enchantment. Designate. Up to 1,000 life cups can be designated. Description. This is a rule toy created for it by the father of Uni Barbie. This is simply a surprise. Su-woo couldn't help laughing. Uni Barbie's dedication is really awesome. Especially this baton. He pointed at Inessa, who was peeping out of the painting. Listen to my command. No response. Su-woo frowned. At this time, Uni Barbie looked up and said, Master. This toy can only command life. Inessa imprisoned herself in her own talent and has become a painting, unless she is willing to come out. Yo-ho. Su-woo looked at Inessa. Inessa. I have successfully controlled Uni Barbie. You are safe. No, hero. You don't know where you are now. This is the temple of the weird play master. Inessa shook her head and said. Su-woo frowned. Be good. Be obedient. Inessa was a little dumbfounded. Who are you talking to? She wanted to question, but she was afraid of hurting the hero's heart. Uni Barbie giggled. Master. This guy is very vigilant. Where is your father? Su-woo looked at Uni Barbie and asked. Uni Barbie shook her head. I don't know. When the toy house went out of control just now, I used my skills to summon my father, and I don't know when he will come back. As soon as these words came out, Su-woo didn't dare to doubt. He immediately turned his head to look at Inessa in the painting. He used the enslavement skill on Inessa. At this moment, two choices appeared in his mind. One was to enslave the painting. The other was to enslave the person in the painting. Su-woo decisively chose Inessa. Buzz. In the blink of an eye, Inessa was successfully enslaved by Su-woo. Buzz. Congratulations on successfully enslaving Inessa. You get Inessa's dedication. 1,000 purple crystal coins * 60,024. You get the copy transmission scroll. 1 volume of the Pilgrimage Road * 60,024. You get 1,000 points of trust from the Holy Church of Light * 60,024. At this moment, Inessa was enslaved by Su-woo. At the same time, Buzz. Mission failed. Inessa was enslaved by an unknown existence. At the same moment, the mission prompt appeared. Su-woo grinned at this and couldn't help but curse. But it's okay this way. This girl is pretty. It's not bad to keep her at home as a flower. LSP never complains about the variety of flowers around him. Su-woo directly fixed Inessa in the slave space forever. Without waiting for Su-woo to check Inessa's panel. Rumble. At this time, a huge shadow suddenly covered the entire space. Puff, puff, puff. In an instant, the fiery fox and Inessa exploded and disappeared instantly. Poor Inessa was killed by the furious mysterious playmaster. The Church of Light has sensed Inessa's death. Your way back is blocked. Please find a way to go home by yourself. The task prompt appeared again. Su-woo looked at the prompt in front of him and just blinked lightly. He quietly grasped Barbie's baton. Decrease intelligence. Suddenly, within a range of 1 kilometer, he felt a behemoth. The power of the baton took effect. This made the behemoth pause for a moment. At this time, Su-woo just discovered that 3 centimeters outside the surface of his and Ahri's bodies, a mysterious aura was rolling like a surge. Gray-black breath came down wave after wave. It couldn't go any further. Uni Barbie stood in front of Su-woo, and he roared loudly, No. You can't treat my master like this, father. Unless you kill me first. When Su-woo was about to use Barbie's batons, listen to my command, skill again. He found that his hand couldn't move. Ahri looked ahead fearlessly, and she said lightly, Don't waste your energy. We are all invincible. No one can do anything to anyone. Hee. I seem to be a little excited. Morgana laughed excitedly. At this time, Su-woo saw Morgana actually flew up. Her body was shrouded in a fallen breath. 12 pairs of black fallen angel wings covered with strange patterns were slowly flapping. She obtained a temporary 4-dimensional attribute increase of 3,003,299 times, 0.0. The average 4-dimensional attribute has reached 180,270 trillion. At this moment, she felt an unparalleled power. Even more powerful than her abyss body. Plus the invincible golden body. She was like a god at this moment. Death. The mysterious Cthulhu who had just gotten rid of his mentally retarded skills in the darkness couldn't help but take a breath of cold air. In the blink of an eye, the boundless darkness disappeared into nothingness. The surrounding light changed back. Uni Barbie looked at Morgana excitedly and said, Haha. Daddy is scared. It ran away. Ha ha ha, that's great. Su Wu blinked and saw that he was free again, and secretly breathed a sigh of relief. Morgana. Can you kill it? Humph, it's a piece of cake. Morgana's mouth curled up a wicked smile. Su Wu nodded and smiled. He didn't leave immediately, but wanted to take this opportunity to plunder. Squeak, who knows? When he opened the door of Barbie's toy house, he found that the toy house was in a silent void. Hall, building, all disappeared without a trace. This is really a complete departure. Su Wu sighed. He first looked at Barbie's toy house. Regular building. Barbie's toy house. Function. Zoom in, zoom out, imprisonment. Description. The cage used by Uni Barbie to capture prey can also be used as a bedroom. It is very sturdy and not easily damaged. It's useless. Su Wu looked at Uni Barbie's skills again. Dancing, level 6. When Uni Barbie invites you to dance, as long as you agree or look at Uni Barbie, you agree to Barbie's invitation, and you will become Barbie's sashimi, dancing on the tip of its tongue, and being chewed and chewed, swallowed into the stomach, and transformed into Barbie's excrement. Duration 6 seconds. Within 6 seconds, the skill rule effect disappears. Hide and seek, level 6. When Uni Barbie invites you to play hide and seek, as long as you agree or look at Barbie and silently recite, you will suffer 60% of Barbie's spiritual value explosion damage. Duration 5 minutes. Summon fatherly love, level 6. Uni Barbie looks for her father and will summon a guardian incarnation with 50% of the power of the mysterious toy. There is a 0% chance to summon Uni Barbie's father. How can this skill be like a positive and negative statement? It's even worse than that. It's a completely unreliable name. Anyone who wants to judge Uni Barbie's attack method by the name of the skill is wrong. Su Wu muttered softly. He looked at Uni Barbie's talent. Immortality. Uni Barbie is weird, eternal and immortal. Barbie's toy. If Uni Barbie stares at the target for more than 10 seconds, the target will be transformed into a toy. Note that only life can be transformed into toys. All of them are rule-related skills. Su Wu muttered softly. This time he gained a lot. But how can he go back? Buzz. In the void, a ray of light flashed. Barbie's toy house disappeared from the spot. At this time, a pair of eyes slowly opened in the darkness. A soft hum slowly sounded. My toy was caught. I can't afford to offend him. I didn't expect that there was a Lord of the Abyss hidden beside him. That terrifying aura made me, the newly promoted Lord of Mystery, a little breathless, and I couldn't resist it at all. That person's aura is mighty, similar to the God-Servant clan, and he is an existence that I can't afford to offend. Forget it. It's not my own anyway. At worst, I can create another one. It's just, without Inessa, how can I fish out the old Pope of the Holy Church of Light? The sin is gone. On the other side, Shenxia Academy, Dormitory Villa area. Buzz. Su Wu spent 500 million contribution points to pass through the transmission module of the Chenkin network, and return to the dormitory with the help of the ultra-long distance transmission function. The light in front of him made him a little uncomfortable. He closed his eyes slightly. The warm feeling dispelled the coldness around him. He opened his eyes again. Buzz. Su Wu entered the slave space. Master was really dangerous before. Morgana came over excitedly, and she said excitedly, I didn't expect that old man to be so afraid of death. Ahri said confidently, even without your breath deterrence, it won't succeed. Master is already invincible because of me. Tisk. Morgana raised her head proudly, if it weren't for me. Okay. Su Wu stopped the two from asking for credit, and said to Ahri and Morgana, tonight, I'm going to try your deep diving. Let's see who is better between the two of you. Okay, I'll get ready now. Morgana blinked and hurried to the nearby Howl Castle. Ahri hugged Su Wu. You can't regret it. As he spoke, Su Wu resurrected the fiery fox and Gobmai. He then glanced at Uni Barbie who was playing with the ghoul not far away. He then walked towards Inessa who was standing in front of the ice flower. Master. Inessa changed her monastic robe and put on a beautiful long dress. She had already known from the change of her panel title. She was driven down from the position of saint by the Holy Church of Light. Su Wu looked at Inessa and nodded. Why were you caught by the mysterious player? Reporting to the master. I escaped from the church because of my sins. The head of the church's paladin was ordered by the Pope to capture me and take me back to offer my sins. On the way, I was met by the mysterious player, the Pope's lifelong enemy. The other party wanted to use me as bait to lure the Pope away from the light. Inessa said solemnly. When she told these secrets, her cheeks were red and hot, and her breathing became extremely chaotic. Su Wu frowned and looked at Inessa, who looked a little strange. What is sin? Walala. Inessa suddenly knelt on the ground, and she said tremblingly, Master, please save my life. Now without the suppression of the saintly title, sin can no longer be controlled. Song. Please save me. When she spoke, her whole body shook more violently. Her skin changed color. Her forehead was sweating profusely. Su Wu hurriedly looked at Inessa's panel through the detection technique. Inessa. Race. Demon spirit. Occupation. Holy Light sister. Status. Poisoned. Sin poison. Identity. Su Wu slave. Level. 100. Life. Eternal and infinite. Strength. 10,000. Agility. 10,000. Spirit. 10,000. Constitution. 10,000. Skills. Draw prison. Life dedication. Healing. Holy light blessing. Talents. Hymns. Blessings. Draw prison. Consume 10 years of life to create a two-dimensional draw prison, which can be used to imprison yourself or anyone else. Duration. 1 year. Unable to upgrade. Life dedication. Consume 1,000 years of life to exchange for life force, dedicated to any life or plant to provide them with growth. Unable to upgrade. Healing. Consume 100,000 to 100,000 years of life, instantly heal any injury. As long as the head is not damaged, the patient can be instantly restored to the original state. Holy Light blessing. Consume 1 to 1 million years of life, offer a lucky blessing to the target, and temporarily increase the target's luck value by 100 points, which lasts for 10 hours. Hymn. By continuously chanting hymns, you will consume 1 year of life every minute and release it into the surrounding environment, so that animals, plants, and life within a range of 10 kilometers can receive spiritual baptism, heal their physical and spiritual injuries, and make their souls sublime with joy. Prayer. Consume 100 to 100 million lifespans, pray to the light, restore vitality to the surrounding environment, revive the recently dead mortals, make plants grow, make crops grow and harvest, and make everything go smoothly. In the state of blessing, Inessa gains temporary invincibility. Skills that consume life. You have an infinite and eternal lifespan, otherwise you really can't afford this skill. No wonder you prayed in the painting prison. It turns out that it can have this effect. Level 100, 10,000 points of 4-dimensional attributes. This is too weird. Su Wu muttered in surprise. Inessa suppressed the power in her body and explained tremblingly, when I have the title of saint, I am invincible as long as I am in the field of holy light. What I didn't expect was that His Holiness the Pope actually believed the monk's words, that Buddha and devil are one, and only by conquering sin can one be perfect and promoted to a semi-saint. This is the purpose of his training me. The pilgrimage road I dedicate to you is the breeding road designed by the Pope for himself. The purpose is to let me enter the Golden Hall, then detonate the sins in me and purify them, and then use the power of the Golden Hall, use me as firewood, sacrifice everything to breed the Son of God. Then, he will refine the Son of God into a pill, and after eating it, you can immediately become a semi-selected one. She revealed the intention of the old Pope of the Holy Light Church. However, this has nothing to do with Su Wu. He only cares about. There is a Golden Hall in the Pilgrimage Road copy dedicated by Inessa. This is about his slave space. Su Wu then asked, you mean the Golden Hall is in the Pilgrimage Road copy? Yes, Inessa nodded. Master, I don't have much time. If you don't save me within 5 minutes, I will fall into sin. Then the Pope will sense the sin and come to take it back personally. He is already a god. The Pope controls the 5 directions and 10 realms, and he can't resist it at all with the power of Blue Star 183. Only if you help me eliminate sin can you avoid the threat and get the blessing of purifying sin. Lifespan will increase by at least 3,000 years. You can also get a talent. Inessa will be loyal to the master in the future. She grabbed Su Wu's hand tightly. Su Wu looked at Inessa calmly. This guy can bring him trouble. But Inessa's ability can help him take care of the flowers, plants in the slave space, which is of great use to him. And, this girl looks good too. It looks pleasing to the eye. At the moment, Su Wu took Inessa and entered the Howl Castle for treatment. Soon, There was a fierce and fiery attack in Howl Castle. Ahri and Morgana sat in front of the wooden table and chairs made by the Goblin Queen. They waited for 4 or 5 hours. The master broke the appointment, Morgana said disappointedly. Ahri sighed and responded, yes. Ines' sin poison is too serious. If it is not handled properly, she will become the source of ugly and strong mental pollution virus. At that time, this space, the birthplace of sin, will be permanently polluted. This is a good thing that saving lives is better than building a 7-story pagoda. It can be forgiven. Morgana listened to the intermittent voice. The master is so lucky. The cabbage that the dead old man of the Holy Church of Light has cultivated for who knows how long, was actually obtained by the master. If the old man knew that his plan failed, he would be angry to death. Boom. In Howl's castle, Su Wu looked at the panel happily. His lifespan suddenly soared to 3,180 years. He also gained a talent. He excitedly commented on the new talent. Second level Divine Perception, 0/20th million, SSSSS-Level. You can clearly perceive the emotions and attitudes of people within 1 meter of you. Su Wu's eyes lit up when he saw this, and he immediately used experience to upgrade the talent. He didn't expect to get a second-level talent in this way this time. Buzz. Divine Perception was upgraded to level 1. The perception range became 1201 meters. Obviously. It can be deduced from this that the basic value of each level of this talent is 1. It has a growth increase of 1200 meters under the 1200 times increase of the second-level skill growth gain. That's it. Su Wu continued. The second-level Divine Perception was promoted to the full level 10. Its perception range increased to 12,001 meters. At this moment, standing in Howl's castle, Su Wu clearly felt the shyness and joy of Inessa beside him. Feeling Howl's respect and admiration. Feeling the fear and terror of the skeleton warriors in the castle. He could also feel the kindness of the ghouls in the fields below and the desire of the Goblin Queen. And Ahri and Morgana, with a little complaint and some understanding. Other slaves such as the Blazing Fox and the Tiger King were too far away. Su Wu could not sense it. Has it always been so sharp? Su Wu muttered softly, as he stopped sensing seriously. He found that this feeling gradually became smaller and only around him. Only when he sensed carefully. It progressed layer by layer and continued to extrapolate. In other words, 12,001 meters is the maximum range he can sense. He can control the range of perception. The normal range of perception is around the body, about 5 to 10 meters. Su Wu was in high spirits. He glanced at Inessa, who was sleepy but didn't dare to fall asleep, and kissed her forehead gently. Sleep. Sleep. You will stay here from now on, and no one can threaten your life anymore. Yeah. Inessa fell asleep while hugging Su Wu's arm. Su Wu got up and went outside. He first took out an Eye of Horus. Look carefully. The information on it has changed. Eye of Horus. Blue, magic item. After crushing it, you can enter a coordinate in the third time and space, where there may be danger or nothing may happen. This thing has changed from the passage to the Thorn Sin dungeon to a teleportation magic item. It seems that the Thorn Sin dungeon disappeared because of Inessa's disappearance. Su Wu then looked at the harvest this time. He harvested a total of 6,09,122,688 mysterious cores. 187,274,880 purple crystal coins. The trust points of the Holy Church of Light are as follows: 666,986,688 points. 60,024 copies of the Golden Ogre's Last Wish. 60,024 copies of the Scroll of the Pilgrimage. 600,240 pieces of the mysterious Source Crystal. Barbie's Baton. He enslaved 12 barrage guards and 1 Golden Ogre King Chess. Enslaved Uni Barbie, the son of the mysterious Playmaster, and Barbie's toy house. And the biggest gain of this time, Inessa. This is definitely a talent. So many things plus the previous items. I have to find a way to open a store to sell them. Su Wu muttered softly. He left the slave space. After returning to the school dormitory space. It was already around 3 a.m. here. There were still a few hours before dawn. He did not rest. He went directly to the academic affairs office of the school. He looked at the currency exchange module and quickly found the exchange channel for purple crystal coins. Hiss. Huh, this is the exchange method. Su Wu muttered softly. Purple crystal coins can only be exchanged with gold coins. The exchange rate is 1 purple crystal coin for 100 million gold coins. Contribution points cannot be exchanged for purple crystal coins, but purple crystal coins can be exchanged for contribution points. The exchange rate is 1 purple crystal coin for 100,000 contribution points. This is far less suitable than converting gold coins into contribution points. But, in the Shangxia Empire, gold coins cannot be exchanged for contribution points. Only some black markets can do it. But this is illegal. Su Wu did not rashly exchange after seeing it. He already had enough purple crystal coins in his hand, so he did not need to exchange currency anymore. Immediately, he applied for an online store at the school's mall. Buzz. Congratulations, you are qualified to open a school online store. Please submit 1 million contribution points or 1 billion gold coins as a store deposit. Note, the store will charge 1% of the school management fee, 5% of the imperial transaction tax, and 1% of the commodity delivery fee for each transaction. The 3 fees will be automatically deducted from the payment when the transaction is completed. Your store transaction account is bound to the Imperial Fund account. You can see the relevant information on the Chengkan Network homepage, and the transaction information can be seen in the online store backend management of the school module. Looking at the information in front of him, Su Wu first submitted a deposit of 1 million contribution points. Then he spent 100,000 contribution points in the store backend to buy a set of store skins. Named the store Supreme Grocery Store. After completion, he began to put his loot on the shelves. Because the store is based on a big data commodity price reference list, Su Wu chose the lowest price to submit. For the only product, he sold it based on the price provided by the store *100. First, the 3 sets of the First Turn Professional, 360 sets of the Rager set, 840 sets of the Raccoon set, and 1,224 sets of the Meditation set. Then there are the Soul Crystal, Soul Scepter, Eye of Horus, Horus's Unfaithful set, 10 drops of Soul Blood, and SSSSS-Level props, Skill Synthesis Scroll. In addition, Barbie's Toy House, Mysterious Source Crystal, Barrage Guard, and Mysterious Core that were harvested this time were also put on the shelves. Ding! Newly opened stores enjoy the promotion benefits on the mall homepage. You can enjoy a 50% discount, and you only need 100,000 contribution points to display the unique products in your store on the New Store and New Products column on the mall homepage. Do you want to purchase this benefit? Contribution points are needed everywhere. Su Wu muttered softly and chose yes. After completing these, he was bored and ran into the slave space again, shouting to Ahri and Morgana to go to Howl Castle to test the depth of the well. Early morning, 3:40, Li Qingping, the principal of Shangxia Academy, who had just finished refining the flying sword, walked out of the forging room. He couldn't help but sigh while holding a few new products in his hand. What a pity. The Lotta Star exploded, the capital of the Styx vice Wangzhou disappeared, and the unit price of soul crystals rose to an unbearable level, otherwise the quality of these flying swords would be even better. As he said, he opened the online mall of the academy as usual. When he was about to go to the backstage of the store, he was suddenly startled. What? 13.5 million soul crystals. Seeing the products displayed on the new store's new product promotion column, he thought he was dazzled. He quickly clicked in. You should have said it earlier, Li Qingping muttered excitedly. When he entered the page, he was shocked to find that there were only less than 100,000 soul crystals left out of the 13.5 million soul crystals. Brother, leave some for me. He quickly entered the purchase page and bought all the following items without even looking at the price. Afterwards, he suddenly found a large number of mysterious cores, which made his heart jump. I must have this. No, I need this first. Mysterious source crystal. Oh my god, how could a student's store have this? Li Qingping shouted in surprise and bought them all in one go. Hee, I don't have to worry about running out of materials this time. Li Qingping laughed. Very soon. Ding, you don't have enough contribution points to buy. After purchasing 2 materials, Li Qingping realized that he had no money. Borrow. He immediately contacted several friends. When he borrowed contribution points, he went into the Supreme Grocery Store and took a look. There was nothing left. Do you have to be so cruel? Li Qingping was so angry that he stamped his feet. He was so angry that his teeth itched. The materials in this store were almost all snatched away. When he returned to the homepage, he realized something. Because the transaction contribution points of the Supreme Grocery Store in just a few minutes were as high as 1 trillion contribution points, it directly became the sales champion of the school online mall. And the sales volume was 99.9 billion contribution points more than the second place. It can be said to be famous in one fell swoop. This attracted some night owls to patronize. This triggered more rush buying behavior. Li Qingping slapped himself twice, and he quickly entered the communication system, found the director of the academic affairs office who manages the information of Nanchang. Lao Lu, help me find out who the owner of the Supreme Grocery Store is. I need to contact him for something. Sorry, principal. According to the regulations of the school and the empire, unless you provide the information review documents of the empire and the school, you have no right to investigate the information of the store owner. 811. Lao Lu responded directly. I am the principal. Li Qingping was so angry that his teeth itched. Lao Lu laughed. The principal is not allowed. Don't forget, our system is under the supervision of Liang Yitianxia. If you break the rules, many people are eyeing the position of the principal of the school. Get out, Li Qingping roared angrily. He quickly entered the forum communication module of the school. Soon, a missing person notice titled, Looking for the owner of the Supreme Grocery Store, appeared on the forum and attracted the keen attention of students and teachers. The next morning at 6:50, Su Wu had just finished breakfast. Butler Alpha came over. Master, you have a friend who has applied for a visit. The other party is Clay, a senior from our Juyu Academy. Clay, Su Wu's eyes moved. A message popped up automatically on the Chenkin network. After checking, Su Wu saw Clay sent 2 words, open the door. Let her in, Su Wu said to Butler Alpha. Buzz. Soon, Clay entered Su Wu's villa through the teleportation array. She followed the butler to the living room. Junior brother, if I hadn't seen your name in the trial task, I really wouldn't have known that you came to the academy. You are really not nice. Clay glanced at the room and asked carelessly. She has a baby face, big eyes, a very kawaii backpack, and a fiery red robe. Did you also participate in that trial? Su Wu moved and asked curiously. Kelly nodded. This mission is an off-domain rescue mission. Our goal is to go to the Katram Temple in the 3rd time in space to rescue the trapped second Saint Freya of the Church of Light. We are accompanied by 100 level 40 professionals from the ugly country, John, and other countries. In addition, there is the task issuer Descartes Knight of the Katram Temple of the Church of Light. You don't know this yet, she said to Su Wu. Su Wu nodded. I really don't know. I only know that there is a mission to go. I am here to take you there and tell you some information. Kelly said the purpose of her visit. This time, our school has a total of 20 professionals and 5 teams. We are the 4th team. We must first gather at the 6th assembly point, and then teleport to the rendezvous point of the 3rd time in space, which is in front of the gate of the Katram Temple, and then enter the large mercenary group composed of the Knights of Cotter, and then we can enter the dungeon. The monsters in the dungeon are mainly Kimu evil monsters. We call them big-eyed monsters here. The level of this monster is 40, and it is good at summoning evil demons. Each monster can summon 100 level 40 evil demon soldiers. The boss is the Archmage Kimu. According to the information of the Knights of Cotter, it can recruit 1 million evil demons to fight. So, the offensive strategy is set as a quick attack. It needs to be killed before it summons the legion. Otherwise we can only escape from the dungeon, said. She handed a round rune stone to Su Wu. This is the escape stone for leaving the dungeon. It can only be used once. If your life is in danger, just crush it. Don't care about your face. People who want to save face will not live long. Thank you, Su Wu said politely. He poured a glass of warm water for Clay. Clay took a sip and continued. Follow me when the time comes, and don't listen to anyone's orders. Are you the captain? Su Wu asked. Clay shook her head. No. We are on the same team. Because you suddenly joined, one of the captain's besties was forced to leave the team. The captain and others may have complaints about you. Just bear with it. There is no need to get angry with insignificant people. Of course, we are not afraid of trouble. The premise is to know the focus of the task. The focus is not to attack the dungeon, but to make friends with the Knight Cadiel, gain the friendship of the Holy Church of Light, and then obtain the exclusive agency rights of the special products of the Holy Church of Light on Blue Star. So, as long as you don't make mistakes. These negotiations and speaking matters are handled by people with relevant professions in the academy. After that, she looked at Su Wu and asked, "Do you have any questions?" "Ah. Isn't it just a trial task? Is it that serious?" Su Wu asked puzzledly. Kelly laughed. "Silly brother. Do you know how many contribution points are given for this dungeon? Regardless of success or failure, each participant will receive 10 million contribution points. There are also contribution point rewards after success. In addition, the experience of this dungeon is as high as 1 billion. If it is evenly distributed, each person can get 10 million experience. This is enough for us to brush the dungeon for several days in a row," she said seriously. Su Wu nodded. When the two left, Kelly finally reminded, "Remember, don't tell others your skills and talents. No matter whether their guesses are right or wrong, don't tell them." "Why?" Su Wu asked puzzledly. Kelly smiled and said, "Your identity information and accurate professional intelligence have been raised to a very high price. I'm afraid some people will not be able to resist greed. Of course, it is also to prevent someone from doing something bad to you. After all, this time it is not our professional players from Shengxia who are participating," said. The two left the dormitory. Under the leadership of Kelly, Su Wu went to the 6th assembly point. This is located on a floating mountain in the main campus. Standing on the mountain, you can see the magnificent scenery of the school below. When the two came to the outside of the assembly point, Su Wu heard some people talking. "Do you know the information of the owner of the Supreme Grocery Store? If I knew, I would have gone to the principal to claim the reward long ago. I advise you not to think about it. The principal is so high level, but he doesn't know the other party's identity. How can we, a group of students, know? In my opinion, this is probably another dean of a certain college playing tricks on the principal. But the things sold in that store are indeed fine products. Yes, they dare to sell 5S level refining materials, and they are still in the form of auctions. I just took a look, and 1 drop of soul blood has been bought to the extent of 10 trillion contribution points, and now there are people raising the price." Listening to the conversation of everyone, Kelly said to Su Wu said, "You may not know, our school had a big incident this morning, someone." At the end, she said enviously, "I wish I knew the owner of the Supreme Grocery Store. Then I can reserve a drop of soul blood." "What do you want it for?" Su Wu asked. Clay thought Su Wu didn't know the value of soul blood, and immediately explained, "Do you know? Soul blood is a rare treasure. It can." The two talked and walked to the assembly point. At this time, the 3 people waiting at the assembly point stopped involuntarily. Su Wu felt a sense of rejection from these 3 people. One of them, a slim female knight wearing golden armor and carrying a big sword, showed a hint of disgust. Clay smiled slightly and introduced to everyone, "Everyone. This is our new teammate, Su Wu. Su Wu. This is our captain Nicole Li. She is a warrior. This is Shui Jing, the controller. This is Du Wu, the nurse." Clay introduced Su Wu. Nicole Li nodded to Clay. She ignored Su Wu. Shui Jing nodded slightly, but did not speak. Du Wu looked disgusted, his eyebrows furrowed like a Sichuanese. The atmosphere was a little awkward for a while. Nicole Li looked at the time. She said to Su Wu, "In the team battle, follow my orders. Otherwise, you will bear the consequences." After that, she said, "Let's go." They should have started to gather over there. At this moment, she had already determined. Since Su Wu was thrown over by Juyu Academy, his identity must be special. She was relieved and not afraid of such a person. But she did not want to offend him. This time, the mission was as if there was no Su Wu. "Let Clay arrange it," as she said. She took out a scroll. Su Wu followed Clay to Nicole Li. Buzz. The moment Nicole Li pinched the scroll, a beam of light rose from the scroll, covering everything within a 5-meter radius. It covered Su Wu and the other 5. Then, a flash of light appeared in front of everyone's eyes. The next moment, Su Wu and the other 5 came to a place full of yellow sand. They were standing at the entrance of a huge building about 100 meters high with no end in sight. At this time, teams from Ugly Country, John, and White Elephant Country had arrived one after another. A team from Shengxia Academy also arrived in advance. Teams from various countries gathered into a group. These groups were also gathered into small groups in the form of 5-person teams. Su Wu's side was separated from the team by Nicole Lee due to Lee's intentional split, so he and Kelly were separated from the team by a large space and were repeatedly divided into 2 groups. He immediately looked at the Cartram Temple. Trial Dungeon. Catram Temple. Affiliation. Holy Church of Light. Monster Level. Level 40, Level 50. Type. Large Dungeon. Requirements. A team of at least 100 people, each professional must be level 40. Those below or above level 40 cannot enter. Experience reward. 1 billion experience points can be shared after passing the level, and no experience points are given during the process. Difficulty. Hell. Description. Catram Temple was originally a trial holy place for the Holy Church of Light to train paladins. Due to unknown reasons, after the second Saint Freya entered, the trial holy place was invaded by the evil demon of Kiimu. At the last moment, the second Saint Freya sealed herself in the prayer room at the bottom of the temple in order to seek rescue. At this time, Su Wu heard a conversation not far away. Everyone, the Cartram Temple has become a trial copy due to special reasons. Since it is close to Blue Star, I submitted an application for help to the Blue Star Professional Committee on behalf of the Holy Church and promised some conditions. At this time, a knight wearing silver armor was saying solemnly, "But the premise is that you must help me rescue the second Saint Freya. This is the premise of trade negotiations. And I don't agree with your proposal," he said solemnly. A professional from the Ugly Country said seriously, "Sir Cadier, if you don't agree with our request, then this time we can only say sorry." "Humph, you are taking advantage of the fire," the knight said angrily. Su Wu asked Clay, who was standing beside him, "Maybe something went wrong. These guys are too impatient." Clay snorted coldly, and then added, "They must know that you are in the team. So they want to get the trade agreement before the raid. What a pity. Don't they know that the people of the Holy Church of Light are stubborn lunatics?" "Sir Cadiel, before we came, you never said that the highest level in this dungeon reached level 50. In other words, the level of the Great Master Yimu is level 50. It's a dungeon of hell difficulty," the professional of the Ugly Country said seriously. The professional of the White Elephant followed up and said, "You have to understand that it takes at least 10 days to come from other church areas of the Holy Church of Light. No one knows whether your Freya can survive for 10 days. Agreeing to us is your only choice." John's professional pressed on. "If we withdraw, relying on the professional of Shengxia Empire alone, they can't even get in the door. By the time they mobilize the right team, Freya may have starved to death. Don't forget, she is the second saint of your holy church. She is not a professional yet. It is a miracle for ordinary people to survive in this environment for 3 days. If this drags on, she will die, and it has nothing to do with us." The persuasive voice kept ringing. The professional of Shengxia Kingdom next to him hurried over. "Sir, we respect your choice," he said helplessly. "Who let Cadier contact the Blue Star Professional Committee through a noble from the Ugly Country? If it weren't for the Blue Star rules that the chairman country must participate in foreign events, these 3 countries would not even give Shengxia a share. However, since they are involved, they should still fight for what they should fight for. But the 3 countries of the Ugly Country have obviously calculated it. If they withdraw at this time, Freya's rescue mission will definitely fail. At that time, the entire Blue Star will be damaged, and the Shengxia Empire will be stained. As a member country, the Ugly Country will not suffer any reputational loss. So, this time, their main point is shamelessness. This is an open conspiracy. Even the professionals sent by the Shengxia Academy to negotiate trade feel extremely helpless and ashamed. They admit that you have thousands of strategies. They directly strangle your lifeline. You have to agree. If you don't agree, they will not lose anything. The main point is shamelessness." Cadier looked at the professionals from the Ugly Country, the White Elephant Country and the John Country angrily. "Aren't you afraid that if I agree to your promise now, you will regret it later? To be honest, you are just a stepping stone for us to contact the top leaders of the Holy Church. The trade contract we signed with you is dispensable. Besides, we have prepared a 10-year agreement. After 10 years, who dares to say that we can't resolve the current contradictions between you and us? The representative of the ugly country said with a smile, besides, if the second Saint Freya dies under your rule, you will be unlucky. For your future, I suggest you sign this contract. The representative of the White Elephant country said with a chuckle. The reason why they dared to do so. It is because they believed that Kadir would save Freya at all costs. John's professional smiled and looked at the negotiating professional of Shengxia Academy, Zhang Ke. Do you have anything to say? At this point, I can only say that I respect the wishes of Lord Kadir. If you can enter the dungeon normally, it would be the best. If you can't enter, please go to the Blue Star Professional Committee to file a complaint. Oh, Zhang Ke looked at the other party indifferently. For the behavior of the professionals of the three countries of Ugly Country, White Elephant and John taking advantage of the fire, I think the committee will give you a fair trial. Kadir exhaled. He needs to clear his mind. But, as an upright knight, he despises and disdains to cooperate with such cunning trash. But, Freya is the person that the Pope has named to protect. As the guardian knight of the saint. If he cannot protect the safety of the saint, he will lose his faith in life. Is it to compromise against principles? Or follow the saint to die in front of the temple? He fell into hesitation. Just when he was desperate, his eyes suddenly lit up. Click, click, click. He actually left behind the negotiators from the Ugly Country, the White Elephant, and the John Country, and ran towards one person with hope and desire in his eyes. This made everyone around him stunned. Lee Nicole looked at Knight Cadiel, who was running towards her, and suddenly became excited. Good luck has come to me. If I can get the friendship of Lord Cadiel, I will get the biggest reward. She thought that it was her profession that attracted the recognition of Knight Cadiel. After all, she is a holy knight. She naturally belongs to the light side. Click. But, just when Lee Nicole greeted Cadiel with a smile on her face, Cadiel actually ignored Lee Nicole directly. This made Lee Nicole suddenly stiffen in place. Cadiel walked around Lee Nicole and came to Su Wu, saying excitedly, "Light is above. I never thought I could see you here. The light on you is like the sun, which makes me dare not look directly at you. Please accept my greetings first. Thank you for everything you have done for the Church of Light." As he said this, under everyone's incredulous gaze, he gave Su Wu a standard and extremely strict knight's salute. What happened? Who is that? All the professionals were confused. Only the professionals led by Chuguo, Bai Xiong and John recognized Su Wu. But they were also full of doubts. When did Su Wu know Knight Cadiel? That was the guardian knight of the saint. He was not an ordinary church member. What puzzled them the most was, Cadiel actually performed such an important etiquette for Su Wu. This made them panic inexplicably. Zhang Ke of Shengxia Academy saw this and his eyes lit up, and then he laughed. Voila! At the same time, the professionals of Chuguo, Bai Xiong and John suddenly walked towards Su Wu. The professionals of Shengxia Academy quickly lined up and took out their weapons. What are you going to do? Zhang Ke said solemnly. The representative of the Ugly Country asked coldly, "What exactly do you want to do?" John's professional shouted loudly, "Mr. Kadir, if this is the choice, we can only say sorry." He said. He led the professionals of his country to a public teleportation altar not far away. The professional of the White Elephant smiled slightly at this and also retreated to the teleportation altar. Kadir turned his head and his face turned pale. "Hello, my name is Su Wu. But I don't know you." Su Wu said. Kadir said to Su Wu solemnly, "You must have carried out the mission of the Church of Light and obtained Mu Bai's trust points. When these trust points accumulate to a certain extent, they will become light that only we can see. Professionals with this light can become the glorious knights of the Holy Church of Light. And only professionals who are upright and fair in line with the purpose of my Holy Church of Light can gather such a huge light of trust." He explained the reason. This made Su Wu a little stunned. Su Wu did participate in the rescue mission of the Holy Church of Light. But the final result was a failure. Saint Inessa had just completed a joint exercise with Su Wu. This made Su Wu feel a little strange. Kadir then said, "Dear friend, please give me a suggestion. I am too conflicted. I need to take a look at the copy." Su Wu said and walked straight to the entrance of the copy. The professionals around were all looking at Su Wu. The professional of the ugly country forced again, Sir Kadir. It seems that you have made a choice, What are you worried about? Kadir keenly noticed the mood of the professional of the ugly country. He frowned and asked, are you worried about this friend of light? It seems that your heart is full of garbage and dirt. You go. I will not cooperate with evil. This scene made the professionals of the ugly country, John, and the white elephant stunned. What the hell is going on? Kadir just begged Su Wu to give a choice. Why did they suddenly become so serious now? Zhang Ke hurried over. Knight Kadir. If they leave, the mission will fail. Light will only believe in light. Similarly, light will only cooperate with light. These people are actually afraid of Lord Su Wu who is in light. Obviously they are all evil demons. Light will not associate with evil demons, we will fight to the death. Kadir drew out the knight's sword from his waist and pointed it fiercely at the professionals of the three countries of Tien. This is the breaking sword of the Holy Church of Light. Once used, it indicates that the Holy Church of Light will break with the three countries. This made the professionals of the three countries of Cho suddenly change their faces. Let's go. The professionals of the three countries no longer hesitated, stepped onto the teleportation array and left in disgrace. Humph. Without us, your saint will die. Zhang Ke sighed. He looked at Kadir and said, sorry. There are not enough people now, we need to go back to report the mission here. If you need it, please contact me. I will organize a 100-man team as soon as possible. Said. Zhang Ke and his team hurriedly stepped onto the teleportation array. He has now reported the situation here. Shengxia is discussing countermeasures. He needs to go back to perform another mission. At this time. Seeing this, the other teams of Shengxia also chose to leave. Li Nicole glanced at Su Wu who was standing in front of the dungeon door. She waved to the other two companions, and the three of them walked towards the teleportation array. Shui Jing glanced at Clay and waved to her. Clay shook her head and did not go back with them. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Soon, all the professionals at the scene had left. Kadir took out his sword and was ready to accompany Saint Freya to death. Su Wu then made some attempts. He had an understanding of this dungeon. Just now, he tried to select 99 slaves in the slave space to enter the dungeon with him. The entry rules of the dungeon did not block it, but only tested the professional level. This shows, although the dungeon in front of him requires at least 100 people to participate. But there is no rule that all 100 people are professionals. As long as they are human, it will be fine. So, he can form a team with the Goblin Queen. The most important thing is that this trial copy does not require all slaves to appear outside. As long as he uses his spirit to select the corresponding number of slaves, he can summon the slaves in the copy when he enters the copy. This makes Su Wu quite satisfied. Click. When he turned around, Kadir knelt in front of the copy door. Friend of Light. If you want to obtain the Grand Knight Medal of Glory of the Holy Church of Light, please contact other church members. I believe they will be very happy to serve you. I can't help you. Thank you for your rescue. Said. Point 0. He closed his eyes. Clay waved at Su Wu from a distance. As if to say, everyone is gone. Hurry up and leave. Su Wu smiled slightly, and he waved to Clay. Come here. Oh, Clay came over. After the two met, Su Wu said to Kadir, Knight Kadir, do you want to enter the dungeon? Ah, sorry, I'm just the quest initiator, I don't have the right to enter the dungeon. Kadir was stunned and said with a blushing face. Then, he stood up suddenly, looked at Su Wu with great hope and asked, what did you say? Can you help me rescue Saint Freya? Of course, Su Wu nodded and said. This shocked Kelly, and she couldn't help wondering, could it be that Lord Wu Wu has prepared another plan that I don't know about? No, the service center has no idea of contacting the Church of Light. Only the Knight Academy of Shengya Academy has this need. Lord Wu Wu can't mobilize so many high-level professionals of level 40. What is Su Wu's basis? She looked at Su Wu. Kadir said excitedly at this time, great. Thank you for your help. I am Kadir, the only remaining paladin in Kartram Parish. On behalf of the Church of Light, I offer you my most sincere thanks. As he said, he knelt down and kowtowed. Bang, bang, bang. The stone bricks on the ground were cracked. Su Wu smiled and said to Clay, let's go. I'll help you level up. But one thing, you can't tell anyone what you see. What? Just the two of us? Clay was stunned and couldn't help but said, brother. This is a large team dungeon. It's hell level. It's more than 100 times more difficult than the single-player hell level dungeon. Besides, can we get in? She thought Su Wu was bragging. Su Wu didn't say much, but turned to look at the trial dungeon, and after confirming the professionals and slaves who entered the dungeon. Buzz. Su Wu disappeared in the blink of an eye. A prompt appeared in front of Clay. Your teammate invites you to enter the Cartram Temple, do you want to enter? Clay couldn't help but whispered. Yes, she made a choice in a hurry. The next second, she appeared in the Cartram Temple. Huh, oh my, how come you have so many goblin queens? When Clay saw the goblin queens behind Su Wu, she couldn't help but widen her eyes. She looked at Su Wu in disbelief, with a strange expression. I didn't expect you to have this hobby. She gave Su Wu a thumbs up. Su Wu didn't explain, he looked straight ahead. The two were standing at the door of the Cartram Temple, protected by a column-shaped light curtain. Outside was a hall about 100 meters wide, with no end in sight. There were giant eye monsters wandering in the hall. These giant eye monsters were like human eyeballs, with a diameter of about 10 meters, and a group of tentacles like hair floating around them. They didn't fly high, only a touch off the ground. But there was always a dark blue ring following them. Su Wu used the detection spell on the giant eye monster in front. Kimu Evil Monster Elite Mini Boss. Level 40. Strength 1 million. Agility 1 million. Spirit 5 million. Constitution 1 million. Skill Summon Evil Soldiers. Talent Immune to Mental Control. Oh my god, their attribute points are so high. How are you going to deal with them? Clay whispered. Su Wu said to Clay, I'll try first. If it doesn't work, you can try again. Okay, I'm an explosion artist, a long-range mage of thunder and fire. You must let your little babies take good care of me. Clay said jokingly. She couldn't help but wipe the sweat from her palms. To be honest, she really didn't know how to deal with the Kimu monster now. Because her skill 30 was too noisy. To deal with one. She can still deal with it. She can kill the opponent by kiting. But what about a group? And this kind of monster can summon minions. This is particularly troublesome. Slave. Su Wu used the enslavement skill on a Kimu evil monster in front of him. Buzz. The Cartram Temple is the Temple of Light, and the monsters in the trial dungeon must be killed. This temple abides by the first law of light, and the evil monsters must die, and they must not be spared in any name. It is detected that your authority is low, and it cannot be covered by the first rule of the dungeon and the first law of light. The enemy cannot enslave the current monster. This is a dungeon under higher rules. Su Wu sighed. Immediately, he gave an order to the Goblin Queen beside him. Buzz. In an instant, a ray of light surged out of Klee's body. She expanded to nearly 200 meters in an instant. And her four-dimensional attributes also increased by 114 times. The sudden increase made her manic in an instant. She first looked at her attributes excitedly. Then, she looked down at Su who was almost invisible under her feet. Woo! She shouted excitedly. Roar! 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 Brother! You are so beautiful! Awesome! Just wait and see this time. Look at my sister. As she said, she walked out of the light curtain. Buzz. The surrounding key evil monsters stopped wandering aimlessly in an instant, and they turned and looked diagonally upward at Clay. Then, buzz, 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 one by one, the key evil monsters summoned teams of evil demon soldiers. Explode. Ha ha. Clay was not afraid at all, and she raised her hand. A flash of lightning flashed. A plush toy made of lightning suddenly appeared in the team of evil demon soldiers. This made the evil demon soldiers stunned. Boom. The next second, a ball of hot flames roared with purple lightning. The evil demon soldiers and the surrounding key evil monsters were instantly shattered. Boom, boom, boom. Klee's confidence increased immediately after seeing this. Haha. Trash. See your grandma Klee's bear. Boom. She released another giant bear condensed from flames. The giant bear flashed around a dozen key evil monsters. The dark blue rings under the feet of these evil monsters were glowing slightly. When the evil demon soldiers were summoned, the giant bear broke apart. Boom! Another deafening sound rang out. The key evil monster group was immediately cleared. Su-woo followed closely behind Clay after seeing this. Clay excitedly started dancing. Under the huge body. Su-woo looked up. I saw that the layered dress was like a cotton cloud. The cotton cloud kept flying up and down with the wave of the explosion. Su-woo looked up at the dense jungle on the top of the two hills in front of him. He couldn't help but grin. The light and heavy vibration sound was accompanied by the strong and harsh explosion. This space was almost in constant vibration. Fortunately, Clay had no musical talent. Otherwise, under the resonance of the explosion, her power might be able to tear the space apart. Just like that. Under Clay's leadership, Su-woo and the others quickly cleared the first floor. When entering the second floor, Clay returned to her original state. She looked at herself who had turned into a human again, and couldn't help but feel a little unsatisfied. Brother, can you help me a little more? I just had a great time. You can't let me go home disappointed. Okay, as long as you are satisfied. Su-woo was relieved. Buzz. The Goblin Queen cast the multiplication spell again. After 3 repetitions, they finally came to the bottom layer. There was a Kiimu Archmage about 100 meters tall here. Su-woo looked at its panel at the first time. Kiimu Archmage Elite Big Boss Level. 50 Strength, 10 million Agility, 10 million Spirit, 50 million Constitution, 10 million Skills. Summon Demon Legion, Summon Exploding Spider, Imprisonment Talent, Immune to Mind Control, Immune to Elemental Attacks. Looking at the Kiimu Archmage in front of him, Su-woo was about to say something. Clay excitedly threw one toy after another forward. Look at me. Gatling. Bew. Invincible Clay is here. Little thief Kiimu, why don't you surrender quickly? Ha ha ha. Boom, 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 boom. The little rabbit, fire bear, and lightning balls exploded one after another. But these attacks hit the master Kiimu like tickling. Its eyes didn't even move. A faint vibration came from the air. Then, Clay, who was nearly 200 meters high, was instantly imprisoned by a black force. Brother, I can't move. The skills are also released. It's over now. Clay was a little panicked, regretting that she shouldn't have been too proud just now. She didn't even look at the big boss's panel. Su-woo activated the phantom skill of the suit in time. The moment the Master Kiimu's imprisonment skill fell on Su-woo, it suddenly failed. Su-woo entered the phantom state. At this time, there were soft humming sounds in the space. The melodious sound was like a woman's beautiful singing voice. In fact, it was indeed the call from the great magician Kiimu. It was vaguely seen, the huge space in front of Su-woo and Kelly. A majestic and vast army was slowly materializing in the dark and crowded. Kelly cried, and her tears seemed to be huge bubbles, hitting the ground and making a crackling sound. Mom, I don't want to die. Wow, I was wrong. I will never be arrogant again. Wow, who will save me? Oh my God, help. She shouted at the top of her voice. Su-woo, I have never had a boyfriend in my life. It's a pity to die like this. Woo, God, I don't have a man yet. This life is not perfect. 013, Su-woo. We can die together, and we will die together. I guess you don't have a girlfriend either. Why don't we be a pair of mandarin ducks after death? Don't be too lonely on the road to the west. The noisy crying continued. Su-woo felt a little dizzy. This guy is just a chatterbox. He moved his hands and feet and glanced at the 98 imprisoned goblin queens behind him. Raised his hand. Buzz. He summoned Tiger King and Goblin May behind Clay. The moment the two slaves appeared. Buzz. Goblin May first used the multiplication skill for Tiger King. In an instant, Tiger King expanded to hundreds of meters high, almost reaching the dome. He drew his bow and shot an arrow downwards. The millions of demons below also showed their true bodies at the same time. Boom. 0.001 milliseconds later, a thunder sounded. Clay, who was crying loudly, closed her eyes. No. Don't eat me. I'm afraid of pain. Mom, Grandma, Grandpa, Dad, woohoo, Su-woo husband, woohoo. Boom, 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 boom. Soon, thunders sounded one after another. Clay heard a whistling sound like rain. The sound became louder and louder with her crying. When she opened her eyes and looked forward, she saw a rain of arrows slowly disappearing in front of her. Under the rain of arrows, the great magician Kimu was quickly melting into a pool of dark blue water stains. The evil demon army it summoned had disappeared without a trace. What happened? Clay blinked. At this time, her multiplication time was 0. The body quickly recovered to its original size. The confinement also dissipated. When she turned around and looked at Su Wu, she saw that Su Wu had walked out of a small house not far away with a blonde nun at some point. Brother Su Wu, thank you for your help. If it weren't for you, I would have died here. Sister Freya said eagerly. She held a bottle of water and a bun in her hand. The wailing in her stomach continued. Even so, she still apologized to Su Wu first. She looked at Clay again, said a few polite words of thanks to Clay, and then ate in small bites. Clay was stunned for a few seconds. She was shocked. Why is Su Wu so powerful? Did he kill the boss just now? She suppressed the doubts in her heart and smiled awkwardly at Su Wu. Let's go. Su Wu waved. The three of them walked up along the way they came. When they reached the door, buzz, a prompt appeared in front of Su Wu. Congratulations on completing the trial of the Katram Temple and successfully rescuing Saint Frehui. Reward, 500 million experience points, appeared with the prompt. Su Wu looked at his panel. I saw, the experience on the panel has reached 721,019,000 points. Saint Freya, please wait a moment. Su Wu stopped Freya who was about to leave. Freya nodded. She looked at the bun Su Wu handed over, her cheeks slightly blushed. Sorry. I'm rude. Then, she held the bun and ate it seriously. Clay looked at Su Wu in surprise. But she saw that Su Wu actually used the experience he just got to start upgrading. Buzz, 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 buzz. I saw that Su Wu's body was constantly flashing with golden light. His level was also constantly improving. Clay felt the terrifying aura that kept surging from Wu. This made her eyes widen. Why is the pressure so great? Then, she couldn't help but pat her forehead. I can't let this guy hold me down. I've been in school for 3 years and I'm still at level 40. This guy came on the second day and he actually jumped directly to a higher level. What the hell? Forget it. I won't upgrade the flying sword with experience. Face is important. This reminded her of what happened just now. The whole person suddenly petrified. The heart was like a volcanic eruption. Countless thoughts emerged. He won't think I'm crazy, right? Wow, I said a lot of nonsense before. How can I be the captain in the future? What should I do if he asks me to date him? Oh my god, why can't I do it? What should I do? Kelly couldn't help but screamed. And at this time, Su Wu has already upgraded to level 55. Starting from level 40, each level up will give 5 million more experience points than the previous level. At level 50, each level up will give 10 million more experience points than the previous level. Therefore, this time, Su Wu consumed a total of 678 million experience points. There are currently 43,019,000 experience points left. Su Wu looked at his attribute panel. Name, Su Wu. Profession, Life Slave Master, the only hidden one. Title, Destroyer. Level, 55, 43,019,000 points, 110,200,000. Lifespan, 3,180 years. Luck value, 100 points. Strength, 150,336,009. Agility, 150,436,007 plus 12,000. Spirit, 150,336,012 plus 10,100, 0050. Physique, 963,636,009 plus 306,300. Other additional attributes. Block, 500. Equipment, 1000 Faces, Teoti, Barbie's Baton, Golden Crow Armor, Physical Belt, Shadow Suit, Demon Necklace. Slave Space Level 55, 311 1120ths, Space Diameter 2617 kilometers. Copy *1. Environment, Jungle 6 kilometers, Phoenix Lake 1 kilometer. Features, Level 8 Resource Space Double Growth. Plants planted in the space grow 10 times faster. To be advanced. Skills, Second Turn Slavery Level 20, Second Turn Summoning, second turn release level 20, second turn synthesis level 20, second turn transformation level 20, second turn transformation level 20, second turn alienation core level 20. Talents: second turn slave king seal level 10, second turn slave gain level 10, second turn freeze level 10, second turn resurrection level 10, second turn skill growth gain level 10, second turn holy perception level 10, second turn damage transfer, second turn communication, devouring evolution level 10, control immunity level 10, super memory level 10, summoning heroic spirits level 10, illusion immunity level 10, natal flying sword level 10. Professional characteristics: 100 times growth level 5, hiding level 5, support level 5. At present, Su Wu's skills and talents have been promoted to the full level again. He looked at the slave space. In the expanded point addition options, he had 3 advanced points. He put the advanced points on the resource space. Buzz. When the resource space is promoted to level 10. In the doubled growth feature, the growth rate of plants becomes 20 times. At the same time, there are 2 more options after the resource space. One of them is nutrients, which is a good harvest. Su Wu looked at it and chose nutrients. Although he already has a mythical rice fertilizer. But not all crops are suitable for this fertilizer. So, the soil of the slave space must have nutrients, which is a necessary condition. Buzz. After he made his choice, the characteristics of the slave space have an additional level 1 nutrition. In the attribute list behind, the nutrient absorption attribute appeared. Nutrient absorption. Absorb nutrients from the void space once every 12 hours. The nutrient content of 1 time is enough for the plants in the slave space for 12 hours. Therefore, the attributes of the slave space have undergone special changes. It exists in this way in Su Wu's main panel, Slave Space, level 55, 311 1120ths. Only by entering the secondary panel can you see the real information of the slave space. Such changes make Su Wu's panel more reasonable. Su Wu looked at the attribute values of more than 100 million on the panel. His heart couldn't help but beat wildly. This is simply too awesome. It's so cool. Such powerful attribute points. Some ordinary professionals at level 100 or even level 200 don't have as high attribute points as him. Even some mythical professionals can't compare to him. He has become an existence that 99.9999% of professionals on the entire Blue Star can't reach. As for outside the Blue Star, he hasn't seen it yet. No more explanation. He looked at other skills. Second turn slavery, level 20, you can force enslave any existence whose level does not exceed your level 48,000, regardless of the other party's state. Slavery types: life, puppets, spirits of wisdom, natural disasters, regular buildings, natural environments with a diameter of 480 kilometers, enhanced talent, seal of servitude. Second turn release, level 20, release the slaves and obtain 24,010 times the experience points and exclusive drops according to the level of the slaves. Second turn synthesis, level 20, you can randomly synthesize 2 or up to 48,400 slaves. After the synthesis, the slave will inherit 100% of the talent and skills of the synthesized slave. During the synthesis process, the values of the same skills and talents will be accumulated and superimposed, and inherited to the new slave with a gain of 24,200 times. Second transformation, level 20, you can instantly switch positions with any slave within a range of 240,610 meters. Second transformation, level 20, transform non-living slaves into living slaves, with a 100% chance of obtaining talents, a 100% chance of obtaining a new skill, and a 2,400-fold increase in 4-dimensional attributes. Each time consumes 100 points of physical fitness. Second transformation, alienation core, level 20, use 1,000 blood crystals to condense an alienation core. Alienation core. You can extract the talent of the slave and transfer it to the professional or other slaves. An alienation core can only be extracted once and transferred once. The alien core can extract 3,602 talents from the target. Note: the talents transferred through the alien core can only be upgraded to level 10 at most and cannot be transferred to the second level. After the talent is extracted, the slave will die. The maximum level of the skill. It also allows Su Wu's survival and the use of slaves to reach a mechanism. After being familiar with his own strength, Su Wu then looked at Freya on the side. Freya had eaten her fill and was drinking water in big gulps. She was so surprised by Su Wu's look that she quickly stopped. She looked at Su Wu in confusion and wiped the corner of her mouth. Sorry for losing my composure. No, I just checked if you were full. There's no rice residue on your face. Su Wu shook his head. Freya felt very warm in her heart, tears in her eyes. Su Wu, my benefactor. You are so kind to me. I feel the warmth of my father in you. Buzz. At this time, Clay had just completed the promotion. She raised her head and looked at Su Wu. Xiao Su. I just promoted to level 53. You are almost there. Almost. Just 2 levels higher than you. Su Wu nodded seriously in response. Outside the Cartram temple, Cadiel was nailed to a wooden stick. Snap, snap, snap. A pirate in leather armor was whipping Cadiel with a leather whip with barbs. Cadiel had a painful expression on his face, but he was reciting the Holy Bible of Light. The more severe the pain, the faster he recited. This made the pirates who were executing him more rampant. It has been less than 20 minutes since Su Wu and his team entered the dungeon. These pirates suddenly came here through a fixed-point teleportation scroll 10 minutes ago. There are as many as 5,000 of them. Among them, the professionals range from level 50 to level 100. The leader is the pirate Zhenshinho, also known as the Cartram Parish. Zhenshinho is a professional of the mythical rank of level 100. Before the Holy Church of Light established a parish in this area, he was the uncrowned king of this area. All lives are his slaves. The holy knights of the Temple of Light were driven out, and they have been hiding in the remote void area and living by robbery. This sudden attack made Kadir very confused. He believed that Zhenshinho must be related to the disaster in the Cartram parish. Zhenshinho was standing on the void pirate ship next to him, and the pirates around him were shouting wildly. How is the arrangement going? 057. Zhenshinho asked a professional array master. This man was a blonde and blue-eyed ugly countryman. He said respectfully, Sir Zhenshinho, I have arranged 36 space condensation arrays and frozen the teleportation altars and teleportation arrays within 10,000 kilometers around. At the same time, we also used special rule props. All summoning skills are prohibited here. This is what we spent a huge price to exchange from Behemoth. Billy said respectfully. He is the messenger arranged by the ugly country in the Zhenshinho team. The reason for coming here this time. There is only one purpose. That is to capture Su Wu. Gentiano nodded. Okay. Since everything has been arranged, I will definitely fulfill my promise. Don't go back on the warships you promised, otherwise I will sell them to other forces. Don't worry, everything is ready, Billy said with a smile. But he couldn't help cursing in his heart. Why don't you die? Fool who has no contract spirit at all. Just then, a light lit up in the Cartram temple. In the blink of an eye, 3 people walked out of the holy temple. Voila! Gentiano stood up suddenly. The pirates who were about to attack Su Wu and the other 2 suddenly stopped. The scene seemed to be in a state of time and space stagnation. Su Wu frowned and looked around. I saw a group of pirates forming a battle group. The wizard's staff lit up. The warriors' weapons were also enchanted. The archers and gunners in the distance were already pointing here. An irresistible force seemed to burst out from his body. This is the frozen talent. Su Wu temporarily suppressed the activation of his passive talent. He looked up at the void pirate ship 100 meters above the ground. Billy on the ship made Su Wu frown. People from the ugly country. They really do everything they can. While speaking, he used the summoning skill. But a huge resistance affected his skill. Failed. Su Wu's eyes jumped, and he took out Barbie's baton in his hand. At this time, I saw Zhenshinho standing at the head of the bed suddenly laughed. Ha ha. Your Excellency Freya, we meet again. Click. Freya's face changed slightly, and she hid behind Su Wu subconsciously. She whispered, Su Wu benefactor. Please help me by 10 minutes. Dell. Although he didn't know what Freya was going to do, Su Wu still agreed. Even without slavery, he has other powers. The Teoti flying sword was slowly floating on the side of his belt, ready to trigger the medical attack at any time. Kelly couldn't help but step forward. I am a student of the Shenxia Academy of the Shenxia Empire of Blue Star. You pirates, why don't you retreat quickly? Ha ha ha. This made the surrounding pirates laugh. Zhenshinho laughed even more brilliantly. Ridiculous. How much hair does the Shengxia Empire have? You actually use this third-rate force to scare me. Humph. It's really ridiculous, DACJ. But I like this little girl. I will train her first, and then I will use her for one night. Tomorrow, if she is still alive, she will belong to you. Ha ha ha. Suddenly, dirty words came out of her mouth. You. Kelly's cheeks flushed with anger, and she released skills one after another in anger. Boom, boom, boom. After throwing out her skills, they were blocked by the magic barrier activated by the pirates, and did not cause any damage to this group of trash. This is a bit difficult to deal with. Su Wu muttered softly when he saw this. Kaylee's face darkened and he turned to look at Su Wu and said, Brother. Quickly bring out your mascot to add invincibility buff to me. The summoning skill is invalid. Su Wu said softly. Boom. At this moment, he released the suppressed passive talent. Clatter. In an instant, all enemies within a range of 1,600 kilometers were instantly frozen. The pirates within a range of about 10 meters from Su Wu and Kaylee were dying quickly. The frozen ice sculptures were also melting little by little from near to far. Kaylee couldn't help but tremble a few times after seeing it. What kind of skill is this? Then, she looked at Su with envy. Wu muttered, it's really useful. Zhenshinho on the ship saw this and his face turned around. Boom. In an instant, he used a prop. Clatter. Then, the icy power that had just spread to Katier's side was contained. Then, the icy power melted like melting snow. The pirates who were still alive around were frightened and stepped back many steps. Zhenshinho glanced around and saw that there were only less than 1,000 pirates left out of the thousands of pirates he brought. This made his heart bleed. These are all his elites. Zhenshinho shouted angrily. Sealers. Curse masters, come on. He didn't forget his goal this time. But he didn't expect Su Wu to be so tricky. Buzz. Soon, hundreds of sealing powers and curse control powers directed at Su Wu fell through. Su Wu got rid of the control through the shadow skill of the shadow suit. He raised Barbie's baton and used the idiotic skill on the people around him. Wow. At this moment, all the pirates became dazed. Even Gentiano scratched his forehead. What am I doing? Wow. Some pirates even peed their pants directly. Others were hugging a pillar and arching like crazy. Woof, woof, woof. Some pirates put their hands on the ground and pretended to be dogs. Others sang loudly. A sudden scene. The tense scene became a little chaotic and extremely funny. Clay looked at the baton in Su Wu's hand in shock, and couldn't help whispering, Brother. Isn't this a divine weapon? Almost. Su Wu responded calmly. He used the, listen to my command, skill of the baton again. Listen to my orders, starting with Gentiano, kneel down in front of me one by one and surrender. Buzz. Congratulations on successfully enslaving Gentiano. You received 10,000,060,024 purple crystal coins from Gentiano. Su Wu now had a lot of dedications. He didn't even look at them and stuffed them directly into the slave space. Although this space prohibits summoning, it does not prohibit sending things to the slave space. After being enslaved, Gentiano regained his wisdom. He was stunned at first, then he showed a bitter smile and knelt directly in front of Su Wu. Su Wu ignored him and enslaved the deputy leader of the pirate group again. After enslaving, he released the other party. You successfully released Nuonuo Kabu. You received Kabu Nuonuo's gratitude and received 1*24,010 blood crystals. Looking at the harvest in front of him, Su Wu smiled slightly. There are really exclusive drops. Kabu Nuonuo still has an IQ of 5, and followed Su Wu's instructions to go to a farther place. Su Wu ordered Zhenshinho, I will arrange for all the pirates going to that place to be killed, and not a single life should be spared. Yes. Zhenshinho trembled. He knelt down and kowtowed, and hurried to that area. That's it. For professionals without talent, Su Wu enslaved them and then released them directly. For professionals with talent, Su Wu enslaved them and then released them, enslaved them again, and then used the alien core to harvest the talents of these professionals. Not long after, all 1,000 pirates were dealt with by Su Wu. In the end, only Zhenshinho was left. Su Wu smiled at Zhenshinho, raised his hand and summoned Zhenshinho. Then he used the release skill on Zhenshinho. When Zhenshinho was grateful, he enslaved him again. Then he used the alien core to check Zhenshinhu's talent deprivation. This time, he got a total of 420,168,000 pieces of various equipment. 24,010,000 blood crystals. 299,819,880. A masked blonde man flapped his white feathers and flew over. Good. 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 I didn't expect it. Su Wu of the Shengxia Empire is so powerful that he can control even a level 100 professional and gain such a huge fortune in this way. Is this your talent, or a professional characteristic? Hee. Everything you have will be mine. The blonde professional roared greedily. Su Wu looked up at the other party. If you touch me, the ugly country will be destroyed. He was testing. The other party laughed. No. No one knows of been here, and no one knows of captured you. Hee. Even the evil god can't figure out everything here. Su Wu felt relieved after hearing this, and hurriedly urged the stick. What weighed on him was that the other party was unmoved and was not affected at all. I already know everything about you. I have used special items to restrain the artifact, and your freezing skill is also restricted by the power of rules I used. Oh, and I also used items to eliminate the state of you getting rid of control. The man said happily. He seemed to want to see despair from Su Wu. But Su Wu has always been very calm. His divine perception talent has sensed the direction of this hidden person. So he had already thought of a way to deal with it. And in his perception, the power of light in Freya's body became more and more intense and active. It seemed that some power penetrated the nothingness and descended on Freya. This prevented him from using his power immediately. Barbie's baton can no longer be used. The passive talent of ice and the phantom skill of the equipment are also imprisoned. But it doesn't matter. Even the teleportation can't be used. Su Wu is not afraid. His confidence is that his four-dimensional attributes are now an average of about 290 million. Such a large attribute base. Combined with the power of Horus's scepter. He doesn't think this arrogant yellow bird can survive. Of course, his most important skill, slavery, is not vegetarian. Up to 48,000 level perverted slavery is online. Whoever comes must kneel. So he is not afraid. He cares about whether the other party will leak his information. This will affect his future behavior. The result is okay now. At least he can maintain a peaceful life for a period of time. Benefactor, please get out of the way. At this time, Freya's voice suddenly sounded. ... There was a hint of extreme coldness in this voice. Su Wu's eyebrows jumped and he moved to the side of Clay. This awakened Clay from her stupidity. The Oriole was slightly stunned, and frowned slightly when he saw Freya suddenly standing up with light on her body. You are wrong. Before he could realize anything, Freya suddenly raised her hand and pointed. Boom! A ray of great light burst out. In an instant, the Oriole was directly wiped out. A cold voice came from Freya. Slaying will be killed without mercy. She said. She turned and looked at Su Wu. Thank you for your help. I see the cause and effect in you. Who are you? Su Wu's heart skipped a beat and he asked hurriedly. At this time, he couldn't admit that Anessa was here with him. 0. Freya didn't say much. She raised her hand and nodded slightly to Cadiel. Cadiel floated down from the rack, and a strong light burst out from his body. In a flash, Cadiel's injuries were healed. He also woke up from his deep sleep. Greetings to the Crown of Light. Cadiel was stunned at first, then knelt down and surrendered. Freya nodded. She looked at Su Wu said, I already know the sin of light, this fate will be rewarded in the future. From now on, Freya will be the great pope of light in the world. Thank you for your help. After saying this, the light on Freya's body disappeared instantly. Freya's pupils turned from golden to blue. Farewell, Your Majesty. Freya then knelt down and said. Cadier said with tears in his eyes, Your Highness the Saint. Cadier is incapable of putting you in danger. Freya stepped forward to help Cadier up and said some comforting words. Then the two of them solemnly kowtowed to Su Wu and Kelly to express their gratitude. Buzz, buzz, buzz. At this time, a series of lights lit up on the nearby public teleportation altar. And then, I saw a professional army of 1,000 professionals wearing black armor first descended here. The leader immediately looked in the direction of Su Wu and others. When he saw Su Wu The leader breathed a sigh of relief. Hula. Then the professional army quickly divided into several teams to guard the surroundings. Captain, Kelly shouted in surprise when she saw the leader. The leader Zhang Ning smiled slightly and walked straight to Su Wu. I'm glad you're okay. What happened just now? The transmission channel seems to be imprisoned. I was almost scolded to death. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.